Yo, what is up, dudes? What's cracking? How's everybody doing tonight? Good to see you. Welcome. It's another Thursday. Another Thursday up in here. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's see who is in the house. Chef Rocky's here. What's up? What's up, Rock? How you doing, man? Luke 10, what up? What's up, Mark? Marco, Kathleen. Hey, Kathleen, how you doing? Tom Tomlinson, what's going on? Tom, Nick, Travaglini, what's up, man? Oh, here you go, Nick. Here you go, sir. He sent me a message in our group chat that I'm in with him, and he said, "Can you post a good video of the purple tall boy?" Because apparently the one I posted wasn't good enough for Nick. Son of a bitch. There you go. If you want to see what it looks like compared to the nip in purple that you might have, the purple nurple nip, it is way more colorful. The nip in purple nurple has purple and lavender camo carbon, which no longer exists, and it has very small amounts of purple, and then it has this lavender color, which almost looks blue in a sense. And then for the tall boy, we kind of created a new color. We took a purple that they had like white in it, and we got rid of that white layer, so it's just this purple and black. But you can also use, it's a fluorescent purple. So if you have any black lights up in your crib, you could really make your tall boy pop if you would like to. That's up to you, though. This is what the 80s looks like with that. Probably be cool if I turn the lights off, but you get the idea. Wow, look at that. I'm blinding myself just for you guys. I don't know if the UV does anything to the... Doesn't do anything to the Brittany. I think that's just like dust and shit on it. So don't see anything there. And then the purple or the black pearl is the same thing. So it would just be the two, the purple and the the purple and the 80s. These two. Let's see. Jim Miller, what's up, Jim? Channel member as well. Shout out to Jimmy Boy. Todd Carr, what's up, dude? Marceau, what's up? R. Shear, what's cracking? Knives are life. He says, just sell me a tall boy real quick. Let's see. Bionic. What up, Nick? How's it going, man? Bionic. Brian Jackson. What's up, Brian? Did you ask a question? Is that what the question mark was for? I'm not seeing anything here. I'm not sure what that's about, but if you have a question, let me know. Looks like Chef Rocky got a new car, a new Outlander. Are you a Mitsubishi guy? Okay. Yep, that's correct, Marco. My wife is putting her to bed tonight because obviously I'm doing the live stream, and the kiddo had a little meltdown. She wanted me So I'm not complaining because eventually she'll probably hate me. So I'll accept the need for me right now. Ooh, somebody's got the nip light and piss. Hell yeah. Nighttime rituals for kids can last a while, dude. Some nights I'm in there till like 11. She finally falls asleep. She's in that stage where she needs me to like sleep in there. So I have to wait until she falls asleep and then I can leave. Sometimes she wakes up in the middle of the night and then she comes to like get me. And I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll go take a piss. And I'll go check on her. She's already back asleep. And I'm like, yes, I can go back to my bed. But yeah, we haven't been able to shake the needing someone to fall asleep with her thing yet. So, but I'm sure people always tell me just enjoy it while it lasts. So I will try. Paul Mills, what's up, dude? Channel member. Kevin Smith and Knives, what's up? Also a channel member. Craig's here. Richard Kastner's here. How's it going? El Cap, what's up, brother? Papa Pita, what up? Let's see, JD. Yeah, you still got a couple weeks, basically. Still like 2 weeks till the tall boy drops, so we don't have to talk about it all night. I needed something for a thumbnail, so I threw that up. And I have been posting about all the different versions this week. Carrying the titanium one today. White Mountain Knives exclusive version. This is a nice one, man. I really like the plain or the titanium version with the milling. It looks good. Blue accents. It looks really good with zircotai too. What's up, Mike? Yeah, purple for me too. This is definitely my favorite. This is the one that I initially went right to put in the pocket right away when I got all 5. So I think most people probably have one that they gravitate towards. I've had a few people really like the purple. This one really like is smooth as shit, and it has a nice click. I don't know. You guys, you might know this if you ever, or some of the guys like Mike who have been here to help me QC knives. There's just some of them are just like perfect. You know what I mean? Like some of these guys, they come, we do the QC sessions, and they already decide they're gonna buy one. So I'll give them like half off or whatever because they're helping me out. And during the QC, they'll kind of put one aside for themselves, right? They'll pick out the perfect one for them because everybody likes different things. And it's funny, I see them like they'll find one they really like, they'll put it down, and then they'll keep going, and then they'll find another one, and they'll like compare them, and then they'll pick one of those and put it aside. So they slowly just like basically choose out of like 100. They pick one that they love. And while they're all good, right? Like all of them are good. There's usually a couple in there that are just like the perfect knife for you, if you know what I mean. Might not be perfect for everybody, but for me, it's perfect. An example of that would be the Kaiser Militaw, this 80s one. They've sent me, I think, 3 Militaws now, maybe 4. And I've handled probably, 6 or 7. And I've never had one that felt perfect for me. Like they've all been good, right? But when I took this one out of the box, I immediately was like, oh shit. It's just got the perfect detent, really stout. It's got a good snap to it, but it glides down. You can hear that acoustic. I love a good closing click. Not everybody cares about that. I love that sound. I mean, it's dead centered. It has no play at all. It doesn't have any kind of like wonky or rattly or any of that stuff that you occasionally can see from Kaiser's. It's just literally the perfect Militao. And that, you know, sometimes you get it. Sometimes you get lucky. So anyway, the purple one here, it really stood out to me immediately. And it was the one aesthetically I liked the most too. So it kind of worked out. And I'll shut up now. I do have one thing to unbox. You guys, there's probably a few things you haven't seen. Yeah, there's a bunch actually, because I haven't posted that video yet. I might do it tomorrow then. But I did get this Eutectic. Leon hit me up and asked if I wanted to check out a left-handed Eutectic knife. So they have lefty knives. I didn't know that. And Leon has always done left-handed versions of his knives, which is really cool. I've always appreciated that. I didn't realize that extended to Eutectic. So he's got lefty Eutectics. So we're going to check out the EFD. I did have the Trinity, I think it was, like a couple of years ago when they came out. I had one of those. It's really big. It was right-handed, but I had one of those. So I asked if I could check out the EFD, which I think is a smaller field duty, maybe. We'll check that out. And then I have some stuff I unboxed the last couple of days we'll look at as well. Did you see the excellent video Traditional Pocket Knives did of the 80s camo version out in the daylight? Put your video to shame. Take notes. Yeesh, man. The disrespect coming off of that comment is ridiculous. Somebody fucking put his ass in timeout. How dare you, sir? How dare you? I filmed the purple one on my my parents' balcony at their loft, and it was in the daylight, sir. That video was fine. I think you're just blind, dude. Purple and black is awesome. Yes, I agree, Kathleen. I agree. Looks like we got a super chat from Casey. Oh, look. Austin heard compliments and he came running. Jesus. I'm just kidding. Yeah, their marketing and photography is top notch. I love what TPK does. Really enjoy working with them. So I have backlights and velvet paintings or pantings. Paintings or pantings? I don't know. Like the blacked out version. Yep. The blacked out one's cool too. Black pearl to match my nip. Hell yeah, dude. I really like the black pearl as well. It's one of my other favorite ones. Black pearl, black hardware. This one I put skiffs in, I think. Yes, I did. Belt satin. This one's got a little clicky to it too. I have been asked if wire clips fit on here, and they do. You can put a wire clip on here. There's one caveat. The pocket screw or the clip screw is too long. It works technically, but it will go like, 3/4 of the way across the inside. I don't think the blade hits it, but actually it might hit it. So what you need is like a screw from the mash or probably even the nip. Like you just need an extra screw from something. I don't have like millions of them. I have some. So if anybody's like diehard, I have to put a wire clip on it and you have a wire clip, I could probably help you out with a screw. But if, 50 people ask, then I probably can't, So it depends, but that's all you need. You could take it off of a different knife, I guess. I mean, pretty much any of the Kubi wire clip knives we've done, like the Growler, the Mash V2, all of those should, the screw should work from those. I've also been asked if this clip fits on any other knives, and I don't know the answer to that. So I was thinking we could find out. So I'm going to take the clip off of my Stout V2, and I'm going to see if I can put the clip from the Tall Boy on there. I'm going to start with that and see what happens. So let's see. Let's take it off of this purple one, I guess. Doesn't matter which one we take it off of. I'm trying to not have to pry the damn. There we go. Nice. Okay. So see if it'll slot in on the Stout. I got it in, but I don't think the hole is going to line up. So she said. Let's see if I use the Stout screw. Okay, that's not working. Let's try this screw. So I think we're having the same problem we had with the using the Stout clip on other stuff. The holes just don't line up. Yeah, like the screw hole on the Stout is lower down. So there's just no way to get the screw in there. You'd have to finagle it. So it doesn't work on the Stout. And if I recall, I did all this with the Stout too, because somebody asked me for that too. And I don't think this clip fits on much because the same problem. It's just, you know, the way that that clip seats. So let me grab a random one here. I got to put these scales back on the Lush, but let's see if maybe it fits on the Lush. Again, it's probably going to slot in, but I don't know if it'll actually seat. Let's see. Doesn't look like it. I don't think it's going to even fit in. The tabs seem long enough, but it seems like they're not wide enough apart or something. I'm sure you could probably figure it out if you were, you know, skilled enough with, you know, filing off stuff and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and say the answer is most likely no. But I'll grab a Growler, see if maybe another Kubi would work. All right. I'm just going to grab all the shit I have over there and we'll give it a shot. All right. Let me skip ahead. Let's see. Jason, what up, man? He says he loves his piss nip. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Eugene, 7 months he's been a member. Have we talked about the Walmart knife yet? What Walmart knife? Civivi you talking about? Thank you, by the way, dude. Splitting Slices says, yes, one of you will always be the bad one. They change frequently. Not sure what you're saying, but oh, the parent, you mean? Gotcha. Stop moving seltzer water. Okay, I see. We're talking about the kid, that's for sure. I really want that 80s. Hell yeah, dude. Can't wait for a medium boy. Yeah, I was talking to Colin earlier that we should get Kubi on prototypes for a small boy or whatever. Do one that's a little bit smaller size. We've already gotten requests, but I do want to see how the drop goes first. People seem excited about it, but you know, you never know. Could be a flop. So if it does well, we'll probably start working on a smaller version. And, you know, if it does really well, we'll work on reorders, you know, as soon as we can. What's up, Derek? What up, Kevin? What up, everybody? Sorry, I'm driving right now, but just wanted to say hello. What up, Level On Up? How's it going, man? Good to see you. If the Militaw was actually lefty friendly. But what do you mean, dude? It's lefty friendly. It's a bolster lock. I mean, I can fire that puppy out no problem left-handed. Tom. Oh, you mean the clip? Have we Tom, have you heard my spiel about right-handed clips and how they're actually almost better for lefties because I carry them in my left back pocket? If you haven't heard that rant, I'll explain. So for a right-handed knife, if you put it in your either back pocket, or I use this hip pocket, which by the way, I have the Artisan Clio in there. Really nice button lock. They, I guess, launched or is launching. I think a lot of you guys would like this. Right up my alley. Sheep's foot, choil, South African designer. Very cool. We'll talk about that. But basically, I put it right here, right? And because of that, when I grab it, I use my left hand, and I can carry it on the left side, but the blade is against the seam up here, so it's not going to open in there. That's the concern with carrying a right-handed knife in your left pocket, right? You have the blade that could technically open up, sit like this in your pocket or whatever. But if you carry it like that, or you use your back pocket and put it in there, now you're using your left hand, so it's technically left-handed carry, and you can get to it real easy with the left hand. So that's why I stopped. If you watch my early videos, I used to bitch about having clips be right hand only. But once I figured that out, I stopped caring about it. And now I can carry any knife because I can carry it with a righty clip or a lefty clip. Honestly, sometimes I take knives that I have the ability to switch the clip on and I don't, because maybe I want to carry this in my front left pocket and I just got this Clio in, so I want to carry that too. Well, now I can carry that with the righty clip, and now I have two knives. So take that for whatever it's worth. All right, I have a buzz. Let's see if it works on the buzz. I'm guessing our best shot's going to be the Kubis. I got to get this super chat here from Casey too. Sorry, dude. I definitely see it. I apologize. Oh, that's right. This buzz, I don't know if you guys remember, but we got these milled scales because they didn't, they screwed up the clips and they didn't fit with the Lynch clips and everything. Man, can't believe it's been 2 full years since we launched the Buzz. Crazy. All right, I'm going to try the Growler. If anything has a shot, I think the Growler would be the best one because it's Kubi made. Yeah, I don't know. I think with enough finagling, I could get it to pop in, but I'm not sure if the hole lines up. So I'm going to say no go on the growler. Looks like we're striking out here, Mike. Mike was the guy who asked. Last one is the nip light. I'm going to try that one. Now, I don't know. This could work on something else, like some other knife that uses the same system, like a knife standards knife. Yeah, it doesn't work on the nip light either. So hopefully that answers your question. That was not the intention when we designed this to have it switch to other knives. So let me just get it back in and then I'll shut up about that. All right. And I love that purple one. So Casey with the 10 bones, thank you, dude. He says the tall boy was made for me. Finally, a bigger Divo. Yeah, it was made for a lot of people. A lot of you guys asked for a larger knife for once. So we did it. And I'm glad we did because it seems like you guys like it. I don't mind the size. I do want to see what a smaller one would feel like. I think it's going to be great. But, you know, depending on how it does, maybe we'll stretch out some other stuff, you know. That click is sweet. Yeah. And this one, the titanium one, really pops too. It's got a great pop to it. Let me skip ahead a little bit here. Shots fired, says Austin. Probably in reference to the Nick Travaglini comments. Any chance of us seeing Lush insert scales for sale in the future? No. So with the Lush, what we're doing right now is we're going to try to find, I think we're going to try to find another OEM to work on the Lush. Concept has done a good job with it, but the communication with them is a bit difficult. And there's certain things they just won't do. We've asked multiple times and we've basically been told, this is how we do it. We're not changing. So, you know, basically too bad, right? And when I say that, I mean T6s on the inlays and the body screws. You know, they basically said we're using T6s. That's just how we do it. Spinning pivot. They won't do a captive pivot because that's just how they do it. They can't do a belt satin. It's just stuff like that. Like we asked all the companies for the CAD files for all of our knives because we just wanted to have all the CAD files somewhere. We have a Divo folder on the cloud that has every knife, and we wanted to have every CAD file in case something came up. We needed it, whatever. Some of them we didn't have the CAD files ahead of time for whatever reason. And they just were like, no, company policy. We don't give out the CAD files. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, it's our design, right? Like we're paying you to make it. I don't know. It just seemed weird. And that was before we decided to, look around to find somebody else maybe to make it. And it was just another reason to kind of think about that. But the knives have been good. We haven't had a bunch of issues with them or anything. But, we want to do belt satin. We want to do hand satin. We want to do just different stuff. We want to maybe make it a little more premium with the, a milled clip and just change it up a little bit. So I think what we're going to do is do a V2 and try to find another OEM, maybe take it up a notch. If we could get somebody like Riot to do it or whatever. It's the same thing with the bender. You guys may have seen the bender prototypes. I'll show you in a second here. I'm just trying to get this last screw in. I got these dark matter glow scales back from a couple of customers who had issues with the glow. I think one guy said he had like a little, oh yeah, he has a little like scratch. It's weird. Look at that. It's like this long scratch. It almost looks like somebody was taking the screw out and then slipped across it. Maybe in assembly concept slipped or something. I don't know. So I sent him the scale off of my sample. And then this guy, he said he didn't have glow on like half of it. So yeah, there's like chunks of glow missing. There's still a lot though. But that upper portion doesn't have any glow. So I guess that was the issue. So I swapped him. Turned out he had the show side and the other guy had the lock side. So I just swapped both. And then they sent them back to me. And now I have a dark matter glow with satin, which actually looks pretty damn good. So so the bender. Where the fuck is it? So this is the Divo knives bender. And this is another one, Casey. This is more full size. It's stout size, so it should be big enough for you guys who like the larger knives. And Best Tech did these for us, the prototypes, and they're really good. We did have some changes, like the plunge grind we need to fix. We're really focused on that now. After these, the ones that are already in production, the tall boy, and the last one's really the fireball. Well, we have the nip slip, but that one I don't think it matters because it's a slip joint. So let me just check. Yeah, see, it doesn't really matter on this. I don't think you're going to have a problem with the plunge grind on this knife. The barley, I assume, is the same way. Barley is the same way. You have, should have plenty of room there. The fireball, I think, is fine. At least it's like good enough because Stasa was involved in that. I think we paid attention to it more. But anyway, so those knives already been ordered and everything. So anything going forward, we're really trying to focus and make sure the plunge grinds are good because we've just had too many knives where they're just like, people are like, it could be better or it should be better or whatever. It's just kind of been that one little thing that people can kind of poke us with on our knives, which is it a huge deal? No, but should we try to be better? Yes, we 100% should. And Colin and I we're not big sharpeners. We're not hyper focused on that aspect. So it hasn't really like been it's hard to explain. I don't want to say it's not a priority because we care. It's just we haven't really like thought about it. And then the knife comes out and then we're like, oh shit, So anything new going into production or anything that we reorder, we're trying to kind of focus on that and make sure the plunge grinds are better. Like the tall boy, I think is borderline. You can see the plunge comes down and it hits like right behind the edge. So you're probably, I don't know if it's a big deal or not, but again, if we ordered this knife now, we would probably just put a little choil in there or something. I don't know. But that is going to cause other things, right? That might shrink the finger choil. I don't know. So, but we are more focused on it now. So anyway, the Best Tech did these, and we wanted to shop around and get somebody else to make prototypes because they're just so fucking expensive. You know, as good as they are, like the Stout V2s are really good, but they're really expensive for us to make. And we try not to pass that all along to you guys, but like we have to sell, like we have to make money. We never try to price things, you know, exorbitantly or try to rake in the money. You know, we always try to be fair. But with the Stout, like even us being fair almost feels like we just want it to be less, even though it can't be. You know what I mean? So anyway, with this one, we're going to try to find another OEM, I think, to do it, to at least prototype it and see what the price is. So we're working with Remet. We're working with Remet Knife on that. They're going to make protos for us. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll go from there. But so we're kind of mixing things up a little bit with a couple of the knives. And so I don't know, it just didn't make sense to order more scales for the Lush when we're thinking about doing a V2 anyway. So I don't know. I was trying to think of any changes I wanted to make on this since we're updating it for the new prototypes. We might as well. So we added a little sharpening choil here, and then we even put a little angle on it, kind of like the CKF Davless, so that it doesn't have a sharp corner where that choil is. So if you close it on your nail, it won't just like jam into your nail. And then we tried to soften these edges up on the clip. They're a little bit sharp. I'm trying to think of what else. I was thinking maybe it could use a little more contouring. I mean, it's good, but it would have to be thicker then, which I don't know if I want it to be thicker. I mean, I guess I wouldn't care if it was like a millimeter thicker and it just added a little bit of comfort on both sides, you know? But anyway. Try to skip ahead here. Milled clip is too cool. Why'd you want to go to why'd you want to go to some people just prefer a wire clip, dude. They're way better to carry. You never have to worry about the tension. That's one thing I hate about milled clips. Like you got to bend them to fit the tension right for your pocket. And sometimes, depending on your pants, you have to adjust it. That's annoying. They can shred your pockets pretty quick, man. I do notice when I carry a milled clip, my pants start fraying a little bit way more often than if I'm sliding a wire clip in and out of my pocket. Pocket doesn't even notice it. You know, I notice that I ram into things sometimes on accident with my milled clips, and you just like bang them into the walls and shit like that. The wire clip doesn't do that. It just kind of bounces off. It doesn't scratch up. It doesn't get beat up. It's deeper carry. It's better in the hand. There's a lot of reasons a wire clip is better, honestly. But a milled clip looks better. And that is the only reason people prefer milled clips. I can't think of another reason other than pure aesthetics that milled clips would be better. But that's my answer to that. No, it doesn't fit the Lush. I tried that. What's up? Gluten-free? What up, Brian? How's it going, man? I just read it, dude. How far behind are you, bro? DRTMI, what's up, dude? Welcome. He means the Ozark from Walmart that the internet is talking about. They're talking about an Ozark again? Oh, yeah. That one, that was like 2 years ago. I want a Growler V2. Can't find one anywhere. Hint, hint. Hit me up. Shoot me an email, Tom. I think you talked to me on, or was it on Instagram? I might have a couple in the closet. I have kind of like a warranty stash in the closet. And it's been a while on that one. So I have hardware. I can probably sell one, but I got to make sure I have them. So just hit me up. Is there only one titanium version? Yes, there's only the one. It's all stonewashed with blue titanium accents. You can buy kits on our website. This is a White Mountain exclusive. We have purple, black, blue, satin, and zircuti hardware kits. Well, collars, studs, clip, and backspacer. Does not include body screws or anything. So you could switch this to purple. You could switch it to black. You could switch it to zircuti. I don't know if satin would work, but you could do that. A budget medium boy or small boy, yeah. I get that. I do think they're really affordable already, though. But you know, if you use a code, they're $180, and you get really good S90V, camo carbon or titanium. You know, stop with the shrimp. Stop with the shrimp. What the fuck? Is that not a shrimp? What the hell is it? It looks like a shrimp. Stop with the shrimp. Has a Divo drop ever not gone well? I guess the premium pony stouts didn't like sell out. I think they're still in stock at White Mountain Knives. Actually, we can go see. Let's see how many he has left. I would say that's one because I really thought they would do much better. Yeah, see, add to cart, still available. And there's 2 versions too. So let's see if I add 50 to cart. Oh, okay. 25. Okay, so he's running out of those. That's nice. 15. But I mean, it's been months, right? 10. Really? 5. All right, so he's got between 5 and 10 there. By the way, this is how you can figure out the stock on any given website. At least most websites you can do this. This one, I bet you there's a bunch. 100. I can just guess that there's probably way more of this one. People like the raw tie better. Yeah. So there's still 50 of those. Let's see, maybe 75. I wonder if White Mountain Knives gets like a notification like somebody's about to buy 75 of these, and he's like, ah, fuck. Ah, shit. Yeah, so there's literally 75 of them. That's a lot, dude. So between the 2 versions, there's about 80 of those left. And we only ordered, I think we only ordered like 400. So that would answer your question. Was it was it like a dog shit drop? No, I mean, I'm sure if you did the math on whatever, we probably, got our money back plus a little bit, but it wasn't like, amazing. So that would be my answer to that. But I will say, usually the drops go pretty well. You guys are awesome. You guys like our stuff. We appreciate the hell out of that. I never expect it though. That's kind of the way I try to look at it. I don't want to expect a drop to go super well. Because once I start doing that, then they're gonna do shitty probably. And we try to keep the quantities modest so that we don't have 500 of them sitting around. It seems like lately we've been pretty good about that. I think on the nip lights, we should check what he has. Hopefully the ones at White Mountain are selling pretty well. He was the only dealer that didn't sell out like the first weekend. Let me see. Where's the nip light? So nip light. There's 27 purple aluminum nip lights on our website, which that's good. That's what we want. We wanted to have something in stock on that. I thought it would be more than that, but that's fine. I would have preferred if White Mountain sold out, but he did not right away. Try 40. Yeah, see, he's still got 40 of those. Jesus. At least. So people just didn't like the blue, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. Oh, I didn't share. Sorry. 50. Yeah, I mean, he's got a ton of them. He's got at least 50. That's wild. You guys should go buy blue nip lights. You guys just don't like the blue, huh? Let's see. So if the bigger knife does well, you'll make a smaller knife. That makes sense. Well, yeah, because to me, it's the design. It's not the size of the knife. You know what I mean? Can you swap the clip? What do you mean swap the clip? On the... Oh, you're talking about the Militaw? Yeah, all right. This was back when I did that. All right, I went over all that. Do any I don't know. Maybe, dude. That's funny. I can't stand anything in my back pockets. Always uncomfortable. I mean, you don't even feel it. It's in the side of your back pocket. So, I don't know. I've had a blade open up in my pocket. Yeah, dude, I had a Burger Custom open up in my front left pocket. That's how I learned don't ever fucking do it. And I put my hand in, and it literally went right into the webbing of my fingers, right in here. Like, it went like a ½ inch in. Shit hurt like hell, but it was a super sharp knife. So that was good. It was very clean. Healed up real easy. Prison pocket carry, yeah. A knife in the back pocket is a no-go. You gotta, come on. You gotta give stuff a chance, man. If you want to try different knives, sometimes you gotta, as a lefty, it opens up a shit ton of knives that you normally wouldn't even consider. So that's why I learned to do it, and I actually enjoyed doing it. So, yo, what up, Dylan? Thanks for coming by, dude. Hell yeah. Todd Carr says, I'm left-handed, but just so used to my right hand, short of axis or backlock ones. Yeah. I don't like axis locks very much. Let me see if I can catch up, maybe. I'm skipping ahead again. What about Kaiser for an OEM? Yeah, dude, we tried that. We did. We had them prototype that mash button lock. That was actually back when we were working with Blue Creek Knives before he disappeared. It was his idea, I think, to do a button lock. And they were fine. And they're actually, we licensed it to them. So they're actually making that knife. But I had them change it to the compression lock with the button. As soon as I saw that, I was like, can you just change this? Because that would make this knife so much better. And they were like, yes. I was like, okay, sweet. So eventually there's going to be a budget mash from Kaiser with the compression lock with a button. But Kaiser doesn't do belt satin. It's similar to Concept, where they just have certain things they don't do. Where with Kubi, if they don't do something, I can push them enough that they'll actually try it. They'll try to find somebody that does do it. If Casey's still here, he can tell you he's done the same thing. He got them to do acid wash. We've got Kubi to do belt satins. We've gotten Kubi to do a dark blast, a zircutai. We've gotten Kubi to do like all types of different things on knives. Like they did this exposed liner lock. They helped us engineer that, like. So that's a type of company I want making my knives. One that wants to work with me, do things that I want to do, try to help us figure shit out, not just say, "Oh, this is how we do it." Sorry, we're gonna use a T6 here because that's just what we do, or we have so many T6s, we gotta use them. Like that's not good enough for me. Or the lying about PVD and DLC reminds me, because Dylan's here. Companies that have been telling people they have DLC for years. Well, how come Kubi never told me they had DLC? How come Kubi always called it PVD? Or they just called it black, right? They never tried to get it over on us and call it DLC when it wasn't. You would think if you make knives for a living, if that's your business, that you would know the difference between DLC and PVD. And I guarantee you do, but that people want DLC, so that's what you write in your book, I don't know. That still kind of nags me a little bit. That's another reason I've just been thinking about trying to kind of shift a little bit. That and the just exorbitant pricing. Like I get it. They don't make the knives. They have somebody else make it. So then they're a third party, and then they have to get their little middleman fee, which is fair. They have great customer service. They have really good communication. I get it. But the prices are just out of control at this point. Like paying over $200 a knife for something that you're having OEM is insane. Especially when it's like we're talking about a knife without zircutai or anything on it, right? Like just steel, titanium, and an inlay or whatever. When Riot is 50, 75 bucks less than you, I just think I need to reassess the situation, and I think a lot of guys are just like, well, people pay $350 for these, so we'll just keep doing it. And it's like, okay, but I could maybe get a better knife and pay less. Fuck. Especially lately, because I've heard Riot is like back, they have a short production window again. Things are better now because they stopped doing these huge runs for Sharp by Design and Chavez and whoever else they were doing these massive runs for. That was just bogging them down, which is fair. It's money, right? It's like that money's right there. We've made 1 million of these before. We know what we're doing. Like it makes sense, but it was killing working with the little guys, And I kind of want to test out these other OEMs like Remet. Like, Remet has some really good quality shit. Like, what if they can nail it just as good and work with us on the finishes and stuff and be cheaper? Like, fuck. So I don't know why I'm trying to convince you. It's not like anybody isn't with me on this, but why do some OEMs make it so difficult to work with them? They should all do what they are being paid for. Yeah. No, I get it, dude. I think there's a balance, Nick. This is my theory on it. When it comes to concept, when it comes to Kaiser, and Kaiser's good, right? But they're really big. They have a lot of their own shit going on. So it's going to be, it's going to be a little bit trickier. And that's the thing with concept is the same way, right? They don't do certain things. Well, look at their business model, right? What percentage of their total income or whatever, right? Their revenue comes from OEM projects versus selling their own knives. I think that's the key thing to look at. When you look at Kubi, when you look at Riot, when you look at Bestech, right? They don't really have like tons of knives coming out constantly that are selling like hotcakes and whatever, right? So I think they're making half or more of their money off of OEM projects, right? I mean, for sure with Riot, they make like a couple models a quarter, maybe. I don't know. I don't follow them as much, but I don't feel like they're coming out with knives left and right. They make a bunch of Exos, and then they came out with that. They came out with that Chevron, and I haven't seen a million models coming out of Riot because they're doing a lot of OEM work. So they're going to be more focused on that, right? They're going to develop that aspect of their shop more. Where I think with Concept, they're making a lot of their own knives. They're selling a lot of their knives to dealers. They work with Blade HQ and Knife Center and all those big dealers who are buying, I guess, big quantities of these knives. So a lot of their revenue comes from that. So they're not as focused on OEM. They might have one or two people that work on it communication-wise, and they have to deal with the factory and figure shit out. And it's kind of got to fit in between their projects. That's why when you order the Lush in December and they say they'll have it for Blade Show, you don't get it until August or July or whatever it was, right? So I think that's kind of the way you got to look at it. I think QSP is kind of in the middle with that. You have companies leaning more OEM, companies leaning more direct, and then you have, sort of the middle ground ones. But that would be my answer to that, Nick, why some of them aren't as focused on it. Like Kubi makes a lot of money off of us. I'm sure they do. I mean, if we added up all the money we've sent to Kubi this year, it would probably be a lot. What's the blade length on the bender? The bender's, I think, 3.3. Same as the stout. It's the same size. Damasteel looks awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I asked for that one back. I sent Colin all the prototypes, and then I asked him if I could get this one back. This was the only one I wanted back, if he didn't mind, because I really like the way this one looks. With all the Zerk on it. What do you guys think of the backspacer? I've had a couple people say they don't like it. They wish the handle was just fully encompassing there. Um, Colin's thinking on this was he wanted to accentuate that piece so that you would see more zircuti, or you would see more blue titanium or purple titanium, whatever it happens to be, right? So usually what you see is, this. You just get that little piece along the back. The tall boy is a little better because it has that almost full length one, 3/4 one. But usually you just get that little strip of backspacer. So he was thinking this lets you show off your backspacer a little more. So I'm curious what you guys think about it. Ouchie EDC, it's great. Bender looks like a premium royal. How much bigger is it? I don't know. I don't have a royal right now, but here's a tall boy. Show you compared to that. So you can see the tall boy is a little bit bigger. Probably 0.2 inches. Here's the growler. This should be about the same size. Full size growler and the bender. About the same. Here's the buzz. Same size, so that should tell you right there. Are those all going to be Damascus and zircuti? No. We're gonna do titanium, obviously, and S90V, LMAX, something like that. I'm kind of in the middle with Remet on that. I don't want M390. They use a lot of M390. I just don't like it. But it'll be like standard builds. Like this: titanium, premium steel, and then accents. And hopefully they can do zircuti and damasteel, because we do want to do this version because people seemed really excited about it. So I wasn't going to have them prototype it because I don't want to spend $2,000 on a prototype when we know it looks good. It's more about the knife. Yeah. I don't know. The more I handle it, it does feels really good in the hand. Plus, you never know, Remet might make it slightly thicker, more contoured, It's not going to be identical. I love the milling on here too. Looks great. Yeah, it's sick. And then currently we're in the process of placing the order for the chaser and the mini growlers. This is the chaser. So this one, if you look at it, plunge grind, I think is good on this one. You have a nice edge termination and then good amount of space there. And this is the belt satin. That's what we've noticed. It's usually the belt satin ones that the plunge grind is a little bit worse, because that's done by hand. So they're doing it. I don't know if they're starting the grind later or what they're doing. But so this one's going into production now. Let me see if I can show you. So like here's a belt satin tall boy. And here's the stone wash. See if it's any different. Yeah, see, these almost look identical. If anything, honestly, kind of looks like the plunge grind on the belt satin might be better. hard to tell. But on the mini growlers in particular, we could clearly see a difference. The mini growlers that were black wash or stone wash, the plunge grind looked like you had enough space there. The belt satin ones did not. So there's something up there. So we're working through that with them now. We're able to get in contact with anyone at Riot. I do have a contact. His name's John. He was on vacation or something. He said he'd hit me up in August. We could jump on a call and hopefully get things moving. I also have to decide what knife to push their way. I was thinking the bender, but then we got Remet in on it. So I think we're going to probably, if I got to talk to Austin, Traditional Pocket Knives, if Riot would be up for doing the Lush V2, I think I would love to see a Lush done by Riot. I don't know about you guys, but honestly, I'd love to see any of our knives done by Riot. So we were thinking, you guys let me know what you think. A Lush V2. And then we wanted to take the premium pony. No, the Stout V2. And we wanted to shrink that down to a pony. So not a premium pony stout. I guess it would be a pony stout V2. I don't know, but basically keep it this, style with the more see, that's the problem. We named that other one the premium one, but this is, more premium than that. So anyway, what do you guys think about that? Like a pony version of this knife, this construction too, not just the design, because we've done that obviously. Because I think people really like the pony stout. I just think with the premium pony, it's a really good user, but I don't think it gets the guys who like this excited, because it doesn't have fat carbon, it doesn't have the milled clip, it doesn't have belt satin or hand satin or whatever, it doesn't have pivot collars. Like, I think we kind of missed on the price range for, I don't know how to explain that, but that's something I've talked to Colin about. We don't want to do that again where we compromise. And that's what we did on the premium pony stout, because QSP was doing it, because they did the first pony stout. When we talked to them about a premium version, we wanted belt satin. We wanted a milled clip. We wanted all that nice stuff. And then the price just went up and up and up and up. And we ended up selling it at $175. And it's titanium, it's milled tie, it has S90V, it's hollow ground, it's really nicely done. But if it had belt satin options, a milled clip, maybe an inlay, whatever, I think it would have sold way better, right? For instance, the nip, we sold these at the same price as the premium pony stout. And it has the same materials, the titanium versions, titanium S90V, right? Or we have camo carbon S90V, but it has a milled clip, has pivot collars, all titanium hardware, belt satin finish, or there was other options, but I think it's like we shaved off too much, right? We had to remove things. Like, okay, we'll just go with all stonewash blades, right? Oh, let's do the wire clip, And so we just told ourselves we're not doing that again. If it comes down to it, what we should have done is we should have went to Kubi. We should have moved that project to Kubi, and they would have got it done for the price point we wanted, the target that we wanted, and we could have sold it for $175 in this kind of construction, right? all tie hardware, milled pocket clip, collars, belt satin, whatever, and still be $175. So I think that's where we went wrong on the premium pony. Although it's hard to say we went wrong. It's a great knife. I mean, if you actually get one, it's fantastic. I get people who hit me up all the time raving about it. They love it, but they're mostly people who use the knife. So, yo, what up, dude? World Tree. How's it going, man? Yeah, that is the tall boy. Well, at least this is. I don't know what you saw. Maybe that was the bender earlier. Glad to hear you're looking at Remet. Yeah, Remet's awesome. They've been really cool to work with for me with the channel, and they're trying to help us with projects. They're making a sample for the bit driver, and now they're going to do the bender. So, you know, just excited to work with them. They're really good peeps. Yeah, the gravity knife's cool. I actually have the swordfish right there in DLC. Fantastic knife. How about a titanium inlay on that Primo version, Kev? Primo version of what? Sorry, I'm not sure which model you're talking about, but we've tried titanium inlays before. We prototyped it before, like on a stout, and it just weighs the knife down. It really, I don't know. I don't think it really makes sense to have a titanium inlay unless you had like a carbon handle and then you had a tie inlay. Ooh. Is that possible? Like, what if you, yeah, see, I don't know if that would work, but like, what if you made the bolsters and everything out of carbon and then the inlay was tie? I think it would work better on something like the saloon. I don't know if you guys seen the saloon before. But it has more like a, you know, a shaped cutout inlay. It's not like the bottom half of the knife or, you know, so like an inlay like that, I don't know if you did like carbon for the rest of the knife and then inlaid tie, that could be sick. Yeah. Somebody else said, I'm buying the parallel wire clip and all. Yes, milled appears better visually. Yeah, right. How about some extra deep carry clips? I feel like not many people care about those, but I do. Yeah, I don't, as long as it's not like brutally shallow, it doesn't really matter to me. So it makes it tricky, dude. A lot of people like to design those clips that hang off the back, and they're tricky, dude. We've prototyped it before and had issues. It's just hard to get those right. They end up like hurting you in the palm. The ones that are like mounted on the rear. That's what she said. The Ozark is horrid. Seem okay out of the package, but don't buy an Ozark, dude. That was your first mistake. Will do. I'll hit you. Okay, cool. I'd blackwash that. I don't know what you were talking about. Sorry, dude. I am behind, of course. Is the mini growler going to have a wire clip? Yes. It's the same knife. It's just smaller. So we didn't want to change that, but we did change the clip. It's not this wire clip. We don't really like this wire clip. It's kind of bulky and big, and we asked Kubi for a different wire clip before, and they didn't understand, I guess. We wanted this instead of this, right? Because it's more low profile. The only downside is if it's a front flipper like this, some people struggle to grab onto it. They don't have as much material to grab as that other clip. But on the nip lights, we got them to go with the small one that's low profile. So I think now they know what we want. And the Growler minis had the same kind of clip. So that's an improvement in my opinion. Is styling the main reason for the unique design of the lock bar on the tall boy? Is styling. Yeah, I would say yes. Colin came up with it. I think mostly because it looked cool as hell, you know. Originally, the way he designed it, it was, I think, titanium, maybe something was titanium. Like this piece was titanium, not the whole liner, but this piece, and it had a lock bar insert like mounted to it. It was interesting, and Kubi tried like 3 different ways to make it, and came up with this way being the best and the most. I think it was the most affordable, but it was also the one that was most reliable. And pretty sure they just take a thick ass piece of steel and they mill it into the liner, and this piece just stays thick. But because I've looked it over and I can't find a weld spot or anything like that where they like, welded a thicker piece on. So I think it's all milled from one piece. What's the blade and overall length of the tall boy? 3.5, 3.6 inch blade, 8.1 overall. I love my budget. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Oh, they're available. Check them out. I mean, it's a great knife. My link tree has been suspended. Dude. So these fucking idiots, why did they now they suspended it? Jesus Christ. Account has been removed? Nice. So they hit me up today and they were like, we removed this link and banned the link because it violated guidelines. It was the link for Farrah Monster. So I reviewed this knife, this brand recently. They sent me a couple knives. I got them the other day. I did a video. Today I posted a video with them in it. And Linktree was like, hey, we banned this link. And I'm like, why? So I appealed it and I just said, this is a pocket knife. Like, I don't understand, whatever. And they denied the appeal. And I replied to that and I said, can you tell me what the problem is? Like, you're not communicating with me. You're just like, we have some algorithm that just flags me or whatever. Like, tell me what is it violating? And that was a couple hours ago. And I guess they decided to just block me completely. So I'm probably going to have to move. I'm going to have to move all my links to another website. That sucks ass. Luckily, I have them all. I have everything saved on my notes on my desktop on the iCloud or whatever. And then I upload that to every video, but I also have the link tree because I think some people prefer using just one easy thing like Linktree, and some people read the whole description. But that's going to screw up every description I've ever posted, which is really annoying. So good for them. They're assholes. Congrats on the tall boy. Thank you. Appreciate that, Jay. Yeah, I guess they don't like knives. Because I responded and I'm like, all of the links that I have go to knife companies. So why are you banning this one? And I guess maybe I explained too much, and they and then they got me. I don't know. Somebody recommended another site, so I'll go to that one, I guess. I bought a blue aluminum nip light from Justin. Hell yeah, dude. I bought the purple, or purple was my second choice. I got the gray. Yeah, the gray is sick, dude. It's gray aluminum, not tie, but yeah. Thought the blue was the classiest looking one. Yeah, I really like it with the satin and everything, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, so here's the thing, guys. I think this is the other problem. I think White Mountain Knives website sucks ass. I love them. Justin's a great dude, but his website is jacked up. I don't think it's set up for drops. Every time we do a drop, I get a bunch of messages that say the one, like they'll be like, if it's the blue one or the whatever, they'll say this one is out of stock already. It shows out of stock a minute into the drop. And I've asked him about it, and he said his website just takes like 20 minutes to update. And it's kind of random. So I almost want to be like, dude, you should add them to your site a half hour before the drop so that they show up when the drop happens. Because I think this has happened. We've done a drop where people go to their website, they go to buy it, it's not there. They can't find it doesn't show yet. So they think it's sold out. They go buy a different one. And then an hour later, it's available and they're like, oh, well, I already bought one. Or they totally forget about White Mountain Knives at that point, right? So that's unfortunate, and sometimes when I'm doing a video, I'll pull up the website for whatever knife it is to just do some research, and their website never loads. It always is like just a death, one of those where the bar never moves. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So there's something up with their website. It'd be cool if they updated that, but I mean, I guess it's if they don't care, then that's fine, I assume he figures they'll sell eventually, so it's not the biggest deal, but it is what it is. I just got in today the nip light from Urban Cutlery Black G10. Nice, dude. Yeah, they bought a couple tall boys too. So anybody who's looking for the purple or the black, Urban Cutlery has like 5 of each. So I sold them what I could. I want to mainly sell them directly so we can recoup some money. But I didn't want to leave them out. You're going to start seeing exclusives from Urban Cutlery, so that'll be cool. Hell yeah, Jim. New subscriber to your channel and Divo Knives. I bought the nip and I'm super impressed. Now I have to get one of your full-size knives. Hell yeah, Chris. Thank you, dude. We'll check out the tall boy. Drops on the 12th. It's actually, if I remember correctly from Colin, it's designed after the nip. What he did was he took the blade and he stretched it out. So he took this blade and he basically took the tip or the front end here and it kind of pulled it all out. And 3.5 inches, you end up with this. At least that was my understanding. So if you look at the knife, they are similar in a lot of aspects, just stretched out. So if the tall boy good, would you consider doing a little tall boy? See? Ha, Casey. Yeah, I was saying we're gonna look into doing a smaller one already. Some laser work on the blue one, yeah. What up, Autumn Wind? Bluminati, been a member for 19 months. I'm just here for trash. More trash. Did you get that package yet? I know it took me a few days to drop it off, so maybe you haven't. But yeah, it should be a good one. So I hate button locks, Nick. The only reason we did the button lock mash when we did it was because I think Blue Creek really wanted to do it. And it sounded like, whatever. Everybody was into button locks at the time. I hadn't fully decided how much I hated them at that point. It was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So I don't really want to do a plunge lock of anything. Now, a compression style button lock, if that's what you mean on the growler, we did prototype an axis lock growler with Kunwu actually, and it wasn't bad. It was just kind of heavy, and I don't know, it just didn't feel polished enough. When they make their own knives, Kunwu absolutely kills it. Their quality is excellent, and I can see the same thing in the Metal Complex knife. What is that? The Excalibur. That's clearly a Kunwu, right? Is he just? It's just his name on it, but is it a Kunwu knife? Like, it's not an OEM project, I don't think, because they literally have the Kunwu pivot on there. It looks like a Kunwu knife, just his design, if that makes sense. So I'm guessing the way that works is they're going to sell them, and they'll sell a lot of them, or he'll sell it, whatever, and then he'll get a cut. He'll get a portion of every knife sold. But I don't think he's paying for that knife up front and getting X amount and then selling them. I don't think it's an OEM project. I think it's a collaboration project, if that makes sense. And if I was Kunwu, that's smart. They probably went to him and were like, dude, I know you don't want to make a knife, but like, what if we do everything? You just design it and talk about it. We'll make it. We'll pay for everything, whatever, right? And you're just going to collect fucking 20% because it's him. He's probably not getting 5 or 10%. We'll give you 20% of the sales. And all you got to do is draw a fucking knife and talk about it later. That would be hard to turn down, especially from a company can make good ass knives. Where's the one I have in right now that's unbelievable? Here. I have the Compadre right now, and this thing is really, really good. So when they make their own knives, they kill it. When they do OEM work, I'm not as impressed. And I don't know why that is. But the Kunwu line of knives are fantastic. And this knife is ridiculous. Way better than the Padre. So I don't know if it's a size thing, like a hand size thing, but this one just works way better for me. The proportions make more sense. I have the clip on the left side, so I'm like fumbling it, but it's really good. I think they have these available too. There's a link down below somewhere. Don't go to the link tree though. Dude. Ozark Trail OEM, yeah, that would be great. Has Kubi done butt stuff though? I don't know, man. Probably done some butt stuff. Just promise you'll bring back some more glow carbon. Well, you're in luck, my friend. We have 2 more knives releasing in the next month or 2 that have glow carbon fiber. So the Stout V2 is coming back in glow, and the nip slip is there's gonna be a glow version of that too. Can't you sell a milled clip that replaces the wire clip on most Divos? It's tricky, dude. The location of the hole is not always the same. That's what she said. Like I just tried putting this clip on all the Divos and it doesn't fit any of them. And it fits, the wire clip slots, and you can put a wire clip on this, no problem. But this doesn't fit on anything else because of the way the hole lines up. You have to design it in a weird way where it's hard to explain, but just won't work with everything. This is the Lefty EFD from Liang Ma. Ooh. Well, doesn't feel super weak. It felt weak there. What the hell? Interesting. I don't know if it's the shape of the hole, but like yeah, I think it's just, I can get my whole finger in there. So it's easy to accidentally deploy it. But if you don't do that and you flick it, it doesn't feel super soft or anything. Thumb flick's okay. I wish it was stronger, but it's not horrible. And it's the same problem they had on the premium version. This flipper tab it needs a light detent. So I just don't like the combination of this big hole with this tab. But it does work, so it's not that big a deal. It is pretty soft though. Clip is tappy. Yeah, T6s probably. Yep. So I got to figure out how to bend this without, I'm probably just going to end up pinching this, right? How do I bend it down? Like that, maybe? Could try mounting it backwards and see if that works, but I might have just got it. Let's see. Man, I hate T6s on most knives because look, like it just doesn't have deep enough tooling, and then it makes it hard. And then the magnet part of the driver makes it want to stick to the clip and everything. And it goes in vertical. It's so annoying. Come on, there you go. Yeah, I got it. Good reach around, so she said. So this right here is the reason why you don't see a front flipper on this knife. You don't see a front flipper on this knife. You don't see a front flipper on this knife. It's very hard to get this combination right. And I mean, we have done it. We did the buzz. And most of those are, I would say they're good. Some of them, the detent was too light. And for some people, it has to be light because they struggle with the stronger detent to even deploy this. So it's sort of it's like a balance you have to play. And we just know that every knife, you're not going to get them right. You're going to get 70% of them right. And then you're going to have 30% that are too strong or too soft. If you just have studs or a hole, you know, almost any detent is going to be good, you know. So that's why I personally prefer, like if this just had the hole, which is how the field duty originally was, and it had a strong detent, it would make the knife better in my eyes. I don't need all the deployments like some people, you know. Now they could have just done a different angled tab and made it, I think they could have just made it stronger. I don't think it needed to be as weak as it is here. So, but design-wise, it's good. I think these are like $100, $80, something like that. I mean, that's solid. G10, 14C. Good action. I think these are made in Taiwan. Black wash. Yeah, it doesn't say. Yeah, it's weird. It's just like no matter what I do, I put my finger in there and it just starts deploying. I have to be like super careful not to deploy it. I go to like push to deploy and then it pops out. So I'm essentially doing this and then flicking it, you know? How can you do the Zerko hardware for 75? Hell, most people have it for 150 just for the clip, if not 200. Yeah, so we base our prices on what the OEM charges us. We don't base our prices on what we can sell stuff for or what we've sold other stuff for, right? Like right now we have a backspacer for the Buzz on our website in Zerkatai, and I think it's $60 or something. And originally it was 85, I think, or 75 or something. This backspacer right here costs more from Best Tech than the entire kit from Kubi. So that's why, because Kubi is reasonable about their pricing. So it helps us then pass that along to you guys, right? I mean, that's how we price all our stuff. We've had stuff from $75 all the way up to $375. And it all depends on what we get. That's why I was saying we kind of want to move away from Best Tech because we don't want to charge $375. But we have to because we're getting charged a shit ton to make the knife, right? Shit, this knife right here, we're selling it for less than we're paying to make this. Think about that. This knife right here, retail from us, costs less than we pay to make this knife. So anyway, that's just kind of a weird thing to think about. But yeah, it just depends on what we get charged. Kubi didn't charge us an arm and a leg for these kits. For all I know, they made a mistake. I do remember when they sent me the quote, I asked them, I was like, are you sure? It just seems like very inexpensive for this. And they were like, yeah. So it's $75. And we're doing fine on that. That's not like we didn't just add $5. We're fine on that. So I think everybody wins on that one. But that's why, because it just depends on what we get charged. Are people really making that much money off these damn knives? I told everybody the Tallboy was $199 and people shit. Yeah, again, it depends on who's making it. I pretty much know I can look at a knife and pretty much tell you what somebody paid for it because I've worked with so many OEMs or whatever. And I'm not trying to ruin anybody's day. Like, first off, a lot of these guys are living off of this. This is their full-time job. That's why you see companies like Arcane Design, which reminds me, I have the Volt. If anybody's looking for one of these, hit me up. I'm selling this one. I think I paid $340 for it, so I would sell it for, I don't know, $250, $240, I guess, $100 off. But if you look at Arcane Design, they almost always do a pre-order for their knives, right? Now, I do think these days they're paying the deposit, they're getting the knife ready, and then they set up the pre-order, and then the knives come in quicker. You get them like a couple months, 3 months after you order, 5 months tops, right? I don't think it's like super long waits. But he's living off of it. This is his full-time job. This is what he does for a living. So he gets profit off of that run. He can't just put all of that back into Arcane, right? He has to take some of that money, pay his mortgage, pay for his car, pay whatever bills he has, right? Save some money, pay for insurance. He probably wants insurance, right? Awesome, Kevin. I see your email. Thanks, dude. That's great. I want to sell it. So I'll hit you back after the live. Kev wants to Volt. So, like, I get that. And that's totally fair. And I respect that. I'm happy for the guy that he can run Arcane Design and have it be his full-time thing. Shit, I'm jealous, right? I would love to go full-time. I just don't have the balls to risk it and give up my full-time job and insurance and everything. And so we do it as more of a side thing, right? We're getting deeper into it now, but we put most of the money goes right back in. And so we don't have to rely on it as much as somebody like that. So we can price things better. We don't have to worry about, we don't want to do pre-orders, and it's not something we have to worry about because we're not taking that money out right away to pay our bills and stuff like that. So you gotta, I know a lot of people don't want to look at the people aspect of this and look behind the curtain, but I try to do that. And I guess I do it more now because I actually am involved, right? Like I co-own a company or whatever. But if you go that deep, you can kind of see why people do what they do. And, instead of just complaining about why people do pre-orders or whatever, kind of look at it and why are they doing pre-order? Why does Brian Brown mostly do pre-orders when he sold a fucking assload of knives? It's because he sold an assload of knives and then he built a ridiculously nice shop, right? And he had to pay for that. So he went through that money and then he probably saved some. He paid bills and whatever. And now he's got another run he wants to do, and he doesn't have $100,000 laying around or $250,000 laying around to front the money. And he knows people like the knife and they're going to pay for it and be happy to secure a spot. So why not do a pre-order when you're relying on it for your livelihood? I get that. So that's why I can kind of look at that and then be like, okay, that's fine. Where my instinct is to be like, God, why are you fucking doing pre-orders still? Part of me is like, why are these guys doing pre-orders? They're killing it. And like, I don't get it, but that's why. And I think that's fine, So anyway, that somehow answers your question on why we sell things at what we sell them for. And other companies sell shit for good prices too. And I think a lot of times it's because, one, they want to incentivize people to buy their knife. Two, I think a lot of people are like me, where they've been on the consumer side for a long enough time that they have some kind of radar for that, where it's like, you know, I think people would like to pay this much for this knife, not $350 or whatever, you know. Could I sell these for $300? Sure. Would we sell them? I'm sure we'd probably still sell a good number of them. Would we sell them all? Probably not. I don't know, maybe, but we're not going to find out. It's just a different way of looking at it, I guess. Is there somebody behind me, Jay? I don't see anybody, but my real bug out is slightly off. What do you mean by your real bug out? You have a fake bug out too? That's great. Yeah, honestly, at this point, I don't even know why anybody entertains Benchmade anymore. I probably just pissed a bunch of people off, but I don't get the point. I don't get the point of buying a Benchmade anymore. They cost way too much. The quality is shit. I mean, every Benchmade I've bought, I've had to send to Benchmade right away to fix something. I mean, I'm not kidding. Bug outs, Anthem, 940s. I can't remember. I've had other ones, but just every one I've gotten it, and then I've had to send it right in. It's got blade play, it's off center, the action's fucked up, the springs break, something else is jacked up, the edge is wonky, like it just, the list goes on and on and on. And great, they have a good warranty, but man, it's like you shouldn't have to use it immediately, you know? Yeah, dude. There you go, sir. Your wish is my command. Here's a tall boy. Oh shit, I'm an hour behind. Fuck me. All right, I'm skipping all the way ahead. Sorry, guys. Let me get the super chat I messed up. What up, Ron? Everybody buy a Divo knife, best knife around. Hell yeah, Ron. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you, buddy. 90-degree plunge grind would be nice. Yeah, you got to explain that to me one day, how they do that. Is that what Spyderco does? Because I think it looks like shit. That's the one reason I wouldn't do that. But if it's not what they do, then maybe it's something, I don't know. Crazy Roach, Jack from Kaiser says, hi. What up, Jack? Hey, Jack. Jack from Kaiser. I don't know if I've met a Jack from Kaiser. Here comes, oh, wait. Jack from Kaiser or from a Kaiser live stream? Was there a Kaiser giveaway? What a bunch of pussies who want free knives. Nothing wrong with that. I like the tie clip on the CF Kaiser Genie. Sort of ugly, but super functional. The only real clip I actually like is the one on a quiet carry. It's deep and carry too. Deep carry too. Not sure why it's not normal for all companies. Yeah, it depends, man. It's just, I think everybody has their own aesthetic that they like, you know? I fully expect problems ordering from White Mountain Knife. Yeah, that sucks, man. His website's messed up. I visit multiple times a week, and I have had many problems with it lately. Rebel Rouser, congrats on the tall boy. I was going to get the titanium one from WMK. I hope. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Well, all I would say is if you go to White Mountain Knives at 1 p.m. and it's gone, I don't think it's really gone. Just wait until keep refreshing until it shows up. I don't know. Or maybe hit them up and just see if you can buy one earlier or something. But that's unfortunate that, it seems like a common thing. Happened to me with the nip at WMK. Why I didn't buy there. Yeah. All right. Well, that's good to know. I mean, he hasn't come to me and said like, hey man, these aren't selling or anything. He usually just says, yeah, I'm sure they'll sell as time goes on or whatever. So as long as it doesn't bother him, it's his website. That's fine. So Skiff deal on Urban. Yeah, so Urban Cutlery during the Nip Light drop, they offered free skiffs. Now, I thought when I did my video, I thought you got free skiffs and the 10% off. I thought the skiffs were just included with the knife. I was wrong. You had to use a code, and then you got free skiffs, but you couldn't use also the Lefty 10 code. So basically, you could save 13 bucks on skiffs, or you could save 10 bucks on the knife, but not both. So I don't know if they're doing it again, but it was, I think it was skiffs for my Divo. That was the code. Asher emails you and you have to pull the car over or pull your pants up and get on it, or they're going. Yeah. I'm so happy to see Asher still killing it like that. I can't believe how many fucking Spiro runs has he done, and he sells them all out instantly. It's crazy. But that's pretty, because he sells them for 130 bucks. He literally hunted down the best OEM for the least price. Like, just kept dialing that knife in until that design was perfect, right? Until he was getting really good quality. And I think he's with Petrified Fish now on that one. Somebody asked about the studs. If I'll show you what it looks like. You can't remove the studs and rock it without the studs without noticing. So I'll show you here in a second. I just need a T8. Let me do the Stonewash one because I don't want to accidentally mar up the. Oh, this one's got blue studs. All right, hold on. Let me do this one because they're satin studs. Less likely for people to see the scratches if I scratch it. So you just take a T8 and loosen, and it will come out. There's one stud that has a male genitalia like this. And then there's one stud that has a female like so. And they go into the blade right here. So there's actually a notch cut into the back end of the hole. That's what she said. So yes, you can rock it like this. Does it look horrible? No. I don't think it looks god awful or anything. But it's definitely noticeable. Could you, if maybe you were really good with a Dremel, could you kind of knock the edge down on that and sort of make it go like fit with the hole? Yeah, you probably could. And you could probably make it look even better. But I think it looks fine, honestly. But you're definitely, if somebody was staring at the knife, they're going to go, what's that? You know what I mean? It had some black stuff there too. So clean it up a little bit. Probably look even better. So I don't know. I would just leave the studs on, but you could do whatever you want. But they're easy to take off. And then to put them back on, you just slot this guy in this side and thread this guy on. Both sides have the T8 on them, so you can use a finger bit or whatever to tighten it. I don't even think I'll need to do that. I can probably just crank that down a little bit. And they're back on. But the thing is, the studs, they don't seem to get in the way or anything. And they're way better for a thumb flick. So you get the thumb flick, and it's absolute money with the studs. And then the reverse flick, you get to use the hole. You know, occasionally I'll feel the stud on my index finger as I'm flicking or something, but I don't know. It's never bothered me. Bender S90V. Yeah, the prototypes are S90V. Again, I don't know what they're going to be in oh, this one's Damasteel. But in production, I'm not sure yet. And again, we're having Remet make prototypes right now. I asked them for S90V, LMAX, or VanX, I think. I just said something like that, but not M390. And we haven't gotten that far yet, so we'll see. But I just don't like M390. White Mountain Knives is one of the best retailers in the business. Don't pull your brand from. Oh no, dude! I would never do that. I love Justin. Sorry if it came off that way. No, I love White Mountain Knives. I just was saying it's unfortunate that their website is kind of shitty right now. I wish it was better, is all. Because literally the last few drops we've done, I've had people hit me up and they're like, it's sold out over there. Or I think now people just know that there's something up with it. It just doesn't update, you know? The Buzz continues to be my favorite. Love the belt set. Hell yeah, dude. I love the Buzz too. And we want to do a mini. We actually had it prototyped by Best Tech, and you know, they did it in they used their budget factory, I guess, and because we wanted to make it affordable. And I don't know, it was one of those things where, like I said earlier, we would have been compromising, right? Like we did Nitro V on the prototypes because we were trying to keep the price down. Their pricing was like, you know, we still would have had to sell them for like $150. And I'm like, nobody's going to get excited about Nitro V for $150, even if it's weave carbon fiber, right? We didn't do titanium because then it would have been even more. And it's like, we got the prototypes. And then I just said, you know, we're literally walking into the same thing we did with the premium pony stout. Let's stop now. Shift. We'll have Kubi make the prototypes, and then we can do what we do with the growler. Same exact pricing, right? We can do weave or whatever, like what we're doing with the mini growler. We do titanium and S90V and sell it for $175. We can do 154 and titanium and sell it for $130, right? Before you add a 10% code. And people are going to be much happier with that than they would be if we had Nitro V and weave and a stonewash, because it can't do belt satin because it's too expensive, and we sold it for $150, right? You guys, maybe we would have sold some, but I don't know. I'll show it to you though. The main reasons that we talked to Best Tech about it was they did the full size Buzz. So we kind of wanted to keep it there if we could. We've tried to keep models at the same, you know, place if we can. But with the stout, when we did the V2, we hit a wall with QSP. They told us they could not make the knife thinner than it was. And we wanted it contoured, and they were going to make it thicker to make it contoured. It was already over half an inch. And for some reason, they just said they couldn't do it. This is like 0.47, and it's contoured. Best Tech was able to destroy this. If you've handled the V1 and the V2 stout, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's night and day. And the V1's good, but that one's great. Anyway, So we wanted to keep it there, but pricing wise, it's just not going to make sense. So we're going to move this to Kubi, I think. And yes, plunge grind is another thing on this one. We'll figure it out. But this is a Lefty. That was another reason we thought to use Best Tech, because they could do lefties for us. But they screwed up on this prototype. They used the right-handed lock bar access on the left-handed knife. So this is the side you disengage from, and it doesn't have the cutout. It's flat, and this side does. So it's backwards. It's not bad. Like, this one has some lash, and they always kind of botch the left-handed prototypes for some reason. But they're usually good in production. It's just for some reason the prototypes don't go well. But basically, it'll look like this. It'll just be Kubi made. So we'll probably do tie and 154, or tie and S90V, or carbon and S. You get it. Same kind of growler mash, tall boy kind of situation there. But I think it looks good. And I personally really like this flipper tab, but I think that it's hit or miss for people, maybe. Kev, do you design any of the knives? Yeah, I mean, I designed the, I drew up the barley initially. I drew up the stout initially. Technically, I drew up the growler initially, except my drawing was dog shit. So yeah, but Colin does most of it, I would say. And most of the new stuff, because he'll just hit me up and be like, hey, I've been working on this one. And then I'll look at it and be like, fuck yeah, but let's do this, this, and this. And then he changes it, right? He's definitely the designer. That's his job. That's his job. He's the designer for Divo. I don't know, I'm the marketing guy. I'm the, customer service guy. I'm the sometimes, what do I say sometimes? Like, I'm the idea guy, if that makes sense. Like, I'll say, let's do a knife like the Chaser. This one came because I said, let's do a knife that's flipper only. We've done a lot of knives with the whole design, but it'd be nice to have something, flipper only, like a gentlemanly type flipper knife, right? Sleek. And that's where this one started. And then on the bender, I had been trying to do something with the Royal style blade, that spear foot that I always talk about. It's like a spear point, sheep's foot style blade that Colin did on the Royal. I'd been wanting to do something like that. Just depends on what it is, but the nip on this one, I had gotten the giant mouse nibbler, and what was the other one? Oh, I had three at once. It was the nibbler, the Urban EDC. They had two. They had the baby Barlow, and they had the Monaco. And I had all those in at the same time. And I told Colin, like, dude, we should do a micro knife in somewhere in this size range. And, I'll just give the idea of what I want. And then he'll go from there and kind of start the design. And then he'll show me what he has. And then we tweak from there. But yeah, dude, if I was like the main designer, they would all look like a kindergartner fucking draw. Because that's, even when I draw something, I literally send him like a kindergarten drawing, and he somehow turns it into like nice shit. It's amazing. So yeah, there's your answer, I guess. Compression lock growler, button actuated liner, or compression lock. I'm so tired of frame lock. Yeah, we're working on a nip L, the nipple. We're working on the nipple. Actually, with Vosteed's OEM, they're doing a top liner lock, which is the button actuated compression lock nip for us, a bigger one. Not like huge. I think it's like a 3-inch blade or something like that. Or no, actually, I think it's 7.4 overall. So like 3.1-inch blade. I don't know, something like that. So sort of in the middle, like somewhere between you guys haven't tried somewhere between the Lush and the Stout. Somewhere in that range. And that should be cool because it's going to have that compression actuated button lock. We're excited about that. For the price, it better not be. I just got an Asher Spiro that is OEM by Kunwu, and it is amazing, especially for the price. I know he switched to petrified fish at one point. I think he stopped doing Kunwu. Pretty sure. But did you buy it directly? So I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but I know he was switching, I think, to petrified fish, or at least for a little bit there. The ones with the twill and stuff, those were petrified fish. And they're really good. He's got that dialed in quite a bit, but can't wait till the Tri-Stash gets here. It's a good knife, man. I had it in recently, the prototype. Really good. I was impressed. Cole did a great job with that. MC knife is essentially it's an integral. Kunwu, nothing too crazy to be fair. Yeah, so it's an integral. Yeah, MC just designed it. That's what I figured. They just they were like, you design it, tell us what you want, we'll fucking make it and give you a cut. There's no way he could say no to that, even though he'd been talking shit. He'd been talking shit for, I feel like, years about YouTuber knives or not wanting to make knives or whatever. So, it comes around to everybody. Ant, are you asking me if I design the knives, or are you asking me if Divo designs the knives? Like, what do you mean? Like, you got to clarify the question. But yes, we design the knives. I don't know what you mean. What else would we do? You think we go to a company and go, hey, can we see your designs and pick from them? Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, the question doesn't make any sense to me. It's just odd to me that MC designed a dream knife and it's just a Kunwu. Yeah, no, I agree. I do find that strange that after all of it's sort of like all build up to it. Like, we heard there was a knife coming, or he talked about this Excalibur, knife. Like, it's been a hyped thing on his channel forever. And then it's like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, it's Kunwu. Cool. But it doesn't matter what it is. It could be, it could literally be like a piece of my dog's shit. And if it was in a box and MC was like, here, I'm selling this for $200 or $400, he would still sell 1,000 or 10,000 dog shits. So it really doesn't matter if you think about it. But that's a weird ass comparison. I really hope they do it. They have a reverse tux that looks sexy as fuck. Kev, who designed the better knife, MC or Tri? I haven't tried the Excalibur. I'm So I'm a Warney guy. I'm a sheep's foot guy. So I'm gonna go with Tri-State. I'm not like I feel like MC is more fancy pants. He likes larger knives. Like a lot of his preferences are not mine, right? So on the other hand, Cole likes worn clips. He likes aggressive hollow grinds. He likes more a medium sized knife. He doesn't mind a big. I don't know. I don't know his size preference, but I don't think he would ever make a huge knife. You know what I mean? Where MC, I feel like would make some gargantuan thing just because it's fucking wild, right? Because that's the style he likes, like that fucking T1000 or whatever. So immediately out the gate, if I never saw the knives and you asked me whose knife would you prefer, I would say Tri-State all day, every day, because he's way more in line with what I like. Now, having seen both knives, I still would say Tri-State just because I like that style better. I'm not a big integral guy. I think they're cool, but usually there's some downsides to integrals. The action is really hard to get right because it has to be perfect. And they tend to kind of just be like, well, it's good enough because it's really fucking hard to get right. Getting the lock bar insert, getting the pivot in there, it's harder if you want to like swap skiffs. I don't know. Integrals are kind of a gimmick for me. I get it. It's sort of a feat of engineering too, which is really cool. But I feel like ultimately integrals you end up with a very simple knife because it kind of has to be. So it's all milled out of one piece. You can't do certain things. So anyway, do you remember what the Linktree alternative was? No, I could tell you though. Ray suggested one. Everyday city carry. He said he used something. I should probably find it too because I'm gonna need it. Where is that shit? Where are you? He says, I use beacons.ai. BEACONS, like a beacon, .ai. So I'm actually going to pull that up over here. Beacons.ai. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I'm going to set up an account tomorrow or whenever I have a chance. Divo, just take all my money. Hell yeah, dude. I'll take it. Take your money. Chat, Excalibur, or the stash all day. Plus, the stash has the button actuated frame lock, which is dope. If it was left-handed, if he made a lefty version, that would be sick. Brian gifted 1 membership. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you, brother. My EFD has a strong detent. The flipper is almost unusable. All right, well, I wish I got yours, dude, because this one's pretty damn weak. I'll talk to Leon. I'll just tell him this one has a weak detent. I can review it as is, or if you want to send me a different one, that's fine too. I don't know. Who OEMs? I heard it was a Taiwan company. So I don't know. I guess whoever Cold Steel, that factory maybe. But I don't think it was China, but maybe it is. Maybe it's Riyadh. Maybe he just has Riyadh. Oh, it says made in China. So okay, it is China. So I'm guessing it's Riyadh then. That would be my guess. It feels kind of Civivi-ish. The pouch. I don't know if I can tell from the knife. It's hard sometimes. Riyadh, I don't see a lot of budget stuff from Riyadh, so it's hard to tell. Like the pivot honestly looks like a Kunwu style or a concept style. Oh, wait, hold on. Or the bearings. The bearings look like brass, so I think it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely not concept. But that sort of raised flat pivot, that's a very concept thing. I don't know. I think my guess would be Riot. Just they make a budget knife for them, I guess. But I initially thought I was told it was a Taiwanese company. Yeah, and they did Lefty, so that to me speaks towards Riot as well, because they're the only one that I know of that just do a random number of lefties for people. You know, Best Tech is one that'll do a minimum of 50. Everybody else wants a full run. That's another reason I would love to work with Riot. If they would do lefties like that for us, that would be sick. Brian finished his tall boy video. We'll be going live in the morning. Hell yeah, dude. Well, I hope you like it. I'm left-handed, but carry my pocket knife in my right pocket. It's easier to get to as a backup weapon when my dominant hand is holding a firearm. Yeah, good point on that. For anybody who's conscious of that kind of stuff, I guess that does make sense. Any thoughts to use a kickstop flipper on a model? No, because you have to license it through Lee Williams, and there's all this shit that I'm sure equals a $400. Every kickstop knife I've seen has been priced $100 more than it should be. So I wouldn't want to do that to you guys. And I don't care enough about the kickstop for that. I'd just not have a flipper tab. Not going to lie, I front flip the hell out of my Lush, though. Yeah. Well, it kind of works on the Lush because it's got the fuller. It's not a hole. Like on this, it's like because you have the, I don't know how to explain that. But on the Lush, where's the one I had out? You got so much shit out. Sorry, I'm like all over the place tonight. The fuck did I put that? Oh, I put it back in here. Dumbass. I'll show you this one. I have a black one with the flow party. I meant to put the gold on here. I'll do that as soon as I can. But this has the fuller, so I don't know. It's just a little bit different. If it was a hole, I think the detent would feel softer if it was a hole because you have more leverage with a hole. With this, you're just kind of putting your finger in here and firing, right? With a hole, you tend to gear up, like you're gearing up to flip it or to flick it. And you load up, which if the detent's weak and you're loading up, you would do exactly what happens here. It just flops out. So I don't know, but this is another one, man. It's tough to get the detent perfect. This second batch is definitely better. I think they got real close to perfect on most of these. So yeah, you can do it, but it's just tough. And so I'd rather focus on the whole stud, whatever, and just have it be perfect, have it be good instead of trying to balance all that shit. It's just tough. Does Van-X take up a decent chunk of price? Yeah. I mean, Van-X definitely adds like $20 or so to the cost versus any other steel. Maybe more. I don't know. But yeah, it adds some. That's part of why the Stout V2 costs what it. If we did like S90V, it would probably be, I don't know, 350, 325, 350. It wouldn't be a crazy difference, but I mean, it's a decent chunk. But having Van-X is just so cool, you know. To some people, maybe some people don't care, but I do. Why does companies like Artisan put shit on Kickstarter? You know, I think they do that. I think they mostly do that to gauge how many of the like different versions people want. Like, I don't really think it's about funding a project. I think it's more about like how many do we need to make in this finish, that finish, this finish. They have like 20 options. Where if they did like 3 or 4 options, then they could just release the knife, right? And that's usually what they do. So when they do those Kickstarters, it's usually when they have a bunch of different options. And I'm pretty sure that's why they do it. And they're usually like 2 weeks or a month at most. Like, they're not doing a pre-order and then making you wait 6 months. So yeah, I was a bigger fan of the V2 as well. I liked the V3 because it was kind of a bolster lock. It was better for a lefty, but I hated the pivot. I absolutely despised that pivot on the V3. Just the way it unscrews, that whole fucking pivot comes out with the male end on it, and then that front side is dude, I just hated it. But it still looked cool. I just preferred the V2. You definitely sell those for $300, if not more, but people like me wouldn't be able to buy them. Yeah. No, you know, I think that I educate our customers too much for that. If I was trying to sell this for $300, I think you guys would know. You would be like, well, I thought Kubi made that for you. So 300 seems like a little bit much, Kev. I feel like I would get that, you know. But if I tell you it was OEM by Best Tech and we're charging 325 or whatever, people are usually like, okay, that makes sense. You know, you still get the people who don't know much or are just price, you know, they just everything's, you know, like the guys who hate on Jack Wolf for price. It's so fucking annoying. You're always going to get that no matter what. There's people who will say that $199 for this is too much. Like, you still get that. But I at least I think I've tried to do a good job over the last few years to educate you guys, be transparent about who we're using, what the prices are and why and all that stuff, so you guys can make informed decisions buying the knives, or just so you know, because I feel like people should know shit. You know, yeah, if I was solely thinking about it from a business side, it would be smarter to not tell you any of that, not tell you who the OEMs are, so that you think all of our knives are being made by the same place, and then I could charge you $325 for every premium knife. And on the ones made by Kubi, we would rake it in. On the ones made by Best Tech, we would do okay, right? But that's just not how we roll. Neither Colin or I want to do that. We want to offer cool designs and offer them at a reasonable price for you guys, because we've been in the hobby buying knives for years. So we know what it feels like on the other side. We still do it, you know? That reminds me, I have another knife I would sell if anybody's interested. Where is that fucking thing? Beep, 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 boop, bop, boop, 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 beep, boop. Oh, here. Not because I don't like it, but I don't know. Just is what it is. But I got the Outbreak in from Crispy Donut Community, which, by the way, fuck Blade HQ. Don't buy your knives at Blade HQ. Bullshit that they're going after these guys. Does this look like a competitor to the Blade HQ donut knives? Titanium and Magna Cut for whatever this was, $250 or whatever. You think that competes with the Desert Warrior bullshit, fucking blue and pink painted garbage from Boker? Just so dumb. Anyway, I did the Kickstarter for this because I really like the guys. I like Luke and Drew a lot, and I wanted to support it. I had the prototype in, and I loved it. So I ordered one on Kickstarter to put my money where my mouth was, and I got it in, and I like it. But it is very right-handed. It's a frame lock, and it's just a little bit tougher to use left-handed than I think I like, considering I spent the money on it, if that makes sense. Like the prototype, when I'm reviewing the prototype, I'm looking at it objectively, right? I'm trying to give you guys my thinking on it objectively on the knife, and then also give you my thoughts from a left-handed perspective. And then I just wanted to support them. And I think it's a great knife. But as a lefty, I don't think it's like, the best option. So usually frame locks that are right-handed just don't work super well for a lefty. But this thing's cool. I like it. Ow. So if anybody's interested, let me know. I think I paid $270 or maybe it was $250 on the Kickstarter. So maybe $200 if anybody's interested. It's belt satin. It's got the milled titanium scales that look like sprinkles, which I think looks awesome. Would have been cool to see more of this, but it sounds like they're not going to be able to do that because douchebags. But anyway, I had the outbreak. And then I showed you the Kunwu, but another company, Farrah Monster, who is apparently the reason I got kicked off of Linktree. They sent me a couple knives to check out, and I'm impressed with their quality too. Not right now, Jay. There's still purple ones available on Divo knives, and there's still blue aluminum ones available on White Mountain knives. So you can get the purple or the blue right now, and you can use Lefty 10 on either of those websites and get a discount. But there's still a good number available between those two. So we're probably not going to order more for a little bit. Later, Ant. Probably an hour ago, yeah. So this is the Glide Man from, what did I say it was? Farrah Monster. Apparently a super scary website, according to Linktree. Bunch of fucking losers. What's with all these, like, super liberal fucking, like, algorithms? Like, I don't get it. You're going to flag Farrah Monster because they sell knives? And then I tell you, well, why are you flagging that? Because all the links, I have 100 links on here. They're all going to knife websites, pocket knives. They cut cardboard and fucking fruit. Like, and then they just shut down my account. Bunch of bitches. Anyway. This one's sweet. It kind of reminds me of like a Ferrum Forged Falcon. Titanium. And this is a right-handed frame lock. Like I was just saying, normally not good left-handed, but I can flick it pretty well. Of course, right there, I didn't. But I mean, I'm on the lock bar essentially, and it's still firing out. And the detent's fine. I mean, it's not super strong for the flipper. Again, that's a reason why we don't love doing. I don't think you'll see us do a flipper and a hole. Well, I guess we did it on the nip. So I take that back. But it's the way we did the flipper on this, it's got really good leverage. So it's just different. This is a traditional flipper. This is angled down. This is angled up above the pivot. So you get really good leverage and you can keep a good detent for the hole there. So I guess I lied. We did do it, but you're not going to see a traditional flipper and a hole from us. But anyway, this is the Glide Man. I do have a discount code. LeftyEDC gets you 10% off at Monster, which is in the description. There's links all up in there, and it's in the 10% section. And you can get a discount. I think this one's like $208 with the code, and it's in M390. And then they sent me the Urban Grip. And this one's pretty sick. This is a larger knife. It's got this cool carbon fiber. I actually don't know what it is. It's just cool looking carbon fiber. And it's a front flipper. And they actually did a great job with the jimping. It's pretty aggressive. Catches my finger really nice. Action's good. Both of these knives are machine satin, but they do a good job with it. And it's like 3.68 inches, pretty large knife. That's the blade length, obviously. So very cool. This is the Monster Urban Grip. This one I think is $288 before the discount. So I think, yeah, right around $250, $260 with the code LeftyEDC. So not dirt cheap or anything, but it is well made. Also M390. Feels really quality. Sorry, guys. Skipping ahead a little bit. I'm trying to catch up. I know. I'm always behind. Why am I always behind? I don't get that. Yeah, I meant to ask. I've been hearing stuff about Alice, and I haven't seen her in the live streams. But she's still in the Shadow Rangers Facebook group, and she's like commenting on these knives. She has knives for sale on her website. But I've been hearing, and I saw something on EDC No Go, so I'm a little concerned. I don't know if I should, if she should be selling knives in the group, but she's always been cool. She had that whole thing that happened with Ed a while ago, but that got sorted out. I thought it was just a, bad situation and fucked up miscommunication, but maybe not. But if anybody knows the story, I'd be interested to hear it, because I'd prefer to hear it all before, doing anything. And this is Ed. So there you go. I would think Ed would not be happy about that. Anybody corroborate? Anybody have like the story? Great thing about Divo, you guys browse and utilize several OEMs. This gives your brand a pivotal nature. Hell yeah, dude. Got my GM Atelier in tie yesterday and today. Oh yeah, that's right. I have one. I was probably going to post that video today or tomorrow on the burlap, and I have a bunch of knives, but they sent me this and they didn't give me any info on a drop date or anything. And then today I got an email that said it was available. So I'm like, okay, guess it's available. And they only have 300. So I think these are like $245. By the way, if anybody was interested in that outbreak, just email me, because I'm not going to see your comments for an hour, and I can't ever do it by the chat. So you got to email me, and if multiple people do, then I can just go by timestamps on the emails, or the IG chat. But it's LeftyEDC88@gmail.com. And I guess this one will be up for grabs, because I already passed around the titanium one. So I'll probably put up that video tomorrow and maybe throw it up on my Instagram stories or something. But it's really nice. They did a good job. The baby grand. I just wish they would add a little bit of lock bar access to it, you know? Probably did extra. I don't think they did OEM, dude. I'm pretty sure they just made it and they're just giving him a percentage. I don't think he spent a dime on it because it has their fucking logo on it. There's no way that if he had that made that he would put their logo on it, the pivot. Like that doesn't make sense. I was honestly not impressed by MCs and Tri-States knives. Okay. I like Tri-States. I didn't initially love it when I saw it, but when I got it in, it was hard to deny that it's really fucking good. If I was right-handed. I am not. If they made a left-handed one, then fuck yeah. Wasn't impressed with either knife. Doom's knife was dope, and same with lots of knife. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't get behind Doom's knife. I love Doom, great dude. But obviously that design is wild. You know what I mean? It's not meant for everybody, and I am one of the people it is not meant for. So yeah, it makes sense that if you like that knife, maybe you're not into MC's knife or Tri-State's knife, you know. Apparently, Alice has scammed a bunch of people. They put her on blast on Facebook group EDC Go No Go. That sucks. Connor is personally really excited for MC's knife. Awesome, dude. I'm glad. I am glad. And I can guarantee you a lot of people are. So you're not alone, sir. I'd love to check it out. I don't think that'll happen, but you know. Yeah, exactly. The breed matters. Leafy says he hates Ma because of the Neves thing. I was pretty pissed about. I haven't followed anything he's done since then. But he reached out about checking this out. And I was like, okay. I see him at all the shows and he's always cool. So, you know, from what I've heard, he got drunk and he said more than he should have said. And, you know, he did an apology video. And that's, you know, at some point we got to kind of let go of stuff like that. But I could definitely see why you're upset. Connor W, I want to try an Excalibur. Got to have the money. How much is it? That's one thing. I wonder what the price is. If it's Kunwu, I'm guessing, you know, normally an integral in titanium like that with, is it Van X or Magna Cut or something? Would probably be $500, right? But being Kunwu, $399 maybe. Liang Ma, it's real. That's what I was saying, but it's budget, man. It's pretty, but like it feels budget, so it feels more like a Savivi than it does a Riyadh. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it probably is. Apparently, more people don't want to come forward because her and her boyfriend are cool with a lot of makers, and they're afraid of being blackballed by makers. Well, that's dumb. Why would anybody hold back something because of that? What maker is stupid enough to... that makes no sense. 400. Is it 400? Was I dead on? Told you I could figure out pricing. I could be wrong, but the hole is too big. Hot dog down the hallway. Yeah. That's actually what I thought on the original too. When he came out with the V3, I think it was. Been flipping the shit out of my Lush ever since, going everywhere and hell yeah, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for the info on the flipper. I didn't realize that was a significant portion of those knives' cost, but in hindsight makes sense. Oh yeah, on the fuck, whatever that thing's called. Not in general on a flipper tab, but on the ones that have that flipper tab. God damn it. What is it called? It's the kickstop. You have to You have to license it. And then the guy only works with some other guy, and it's a whole thing I've heard. Your link tree says it was removed. Yeah, it's bullshit, dude. And then they removed my whole link tree because I repealed it, which makes no sense. They even said, if you get multiple strikes, we can remove your account. That was the only strike I ever got. And I appealed it. They denied it, and then they just shut me down. Probably because I sent an email that said, hey, like, can you explain this to me? This like faceless nonsense. Like, I just want to know what is wrong with their link. Like, I don't get it. You know, I wasn't a dick. I just was asking a question. Well, there you go. Yeah, Malcolm, that's who he's talking about. Thank God for the good people in the community. Both Alice and Rocky are usually there. Okay. Well, why are you? What does Rocky have to do with it? She tried to get me, but I was too smart for her. More importantly, she almost ruined my friendship with Jen, aka JKK Knives. Oh shit. Between Jack Wolf and Divo, I got forecast my budget. Nice. How far behind am I now? I am only 15 minutes behind. Transparent Knives, what up, dude? Aren't the donut knives? That's what I'm saying, dude. It's so stupid. Donut Wars. It's a good podcast. I will never buy a Jack Wolf or a Rosecraft. Why? Because they're made in China? You just don't buy Chinese knives, or what? Can you explain, please? Blade Runner HQ has. Oh, they're no longer called that because Blade HQ probably went after them too, like a bunch of assholes. So now it's what is it now? Blade Runner Bazaar or some shit like that. It's been more of a fake it till you make it club at Blade HQ since Ben left. Yeah, that's retarded, dude. Zach was cool. It has nothing to do with the YouTube guys. The reason those guys leave is because they don't pay them. They get really popular and then they ask for a raise probably because they're getting paid dog shit to begin with. And then Blade HQ is like, nah, we can just replace you because we're so good that we can put anybody in front of that camera. And maybe it's true. I mean, I think new people buy there no matter what. They sell PM2s more than anything else, I bet, still. So maybe that's, it is what it is. And you just move past it. Like the first year that you're in the hobby, you're buying from Blade HQ and then you kind of move past it. I don't know. But if you think about it, I was buying from White Mountain Knives right after I started buying from Blade HQ. And I still would buy from White Mountain Knives. I fucking work with them all the time. I have exclusives with them. We have exclusives with them all the time because we love working with them. Because they're real people you can talk to and communicate with and whatever. Justin is, I think he's a private guy. I've never talked to him on the phone. I've never met him. He doesn't come to shows. But you can have a full-on conversation and email with him back and forth, and he's a real person, and it feels like a relationship. Blade HQ is a corporate entity kind of situation, Yeah, what is it called now? I don't know. I don't know about that, dude. I think Blade HQ's website at least works most of the time. This from a guy who calls himself Lefty. Oh, yeah, they are a bunch of pussies. It drops on 9/12, sir. Oh, they shut you down too? Yeah, so that's what, maybe they're like slowly getting everybody? Just me and you? Because, hey, do you use Bitly to shorten links? Do you use the Bitly website? Or did you have just the Monster link on there? By the way, I'm going to put a link to the one that Everyday City Carry recommended. So shout out to Ray for the recommendation. Go check out Everyday City Carry. But he recommended this link. What would you call it? Link app? I don't know. This does not have my links. This is just if anybody needs an alternative to Linktree because they suck balls. Did I already answer this one? 9/12, 1 p.m. Sorry. Let me buy that Urban Grip. Sorry, dude. I'm passing that around. Yeah, anything new I get that's like I haven't had it before or whatever, I always pass around first, and then I'll sell it for like half off retail. If it's something I bought and I'm selling it, then I'll give you a discount, but it's not going to be half. Hopefully that makes sense. But I despise Blade HQ. First, their customers' information has been hacked, and the price fluctuations. Yeah, their YouTube channel went to poop. Oh, and they charge tax to everybody. Yeah. Like we charge tax in Pennsylvania and Georgia because we have to, because I live here and Colin lives there. And those are technically like our offices, locations. So we have a nexus in those two places. So we have to charge tax there. And then if we do a show somewhere, we have to get a tax thing and add it. Right. So like I think we charged tax in Texas for a while this year. I just turned it off not too long ago. Because we had the show there, so it was on for that, and maybe I forgot to turn it off. I forget. But other than PA and Georgia, if you order from us, you shouldn't be charged tax. Yeah, I'll set mine up this weekend. It just pisses me off because I've put Linktree in every one of my video descriptions going back years now. But the good thing is I always put the full description too. That's why I do that. I don't just put Linktree. I put Linktree at the top, and then I also put every link below it because some people don't want to figure out Linktree. They just want to scroll down and find the link. But I mean, I don't know how much like commission and stuff I get because I have Linktree. It could fuck me up. I don't know. Not that that's a big deal, but you know, still would suck. Yeah, what up, Shield Arms? How's it going, man? Looks like Artisan Sand Wash. What knife are we talking about? Sorry. That was 15 minutes ago. I apologize. I don't know what I was holding up. Hey, he's been a member for 5 months. Shout out to Josh. Thanks, dude. Why the stupid comment? What did Marco say? I don't know what Marco said. But he's probably just fucking around. Kev, you selling a Kunwoot? Nah, I have the Compadre, but I'm passing that around too. I'll tell you guys what I'm selling. So I have the fuck, I'm an idiot. I have the Atelier. This John. I have the Militaw in 80s. I love this thing, but I'm not going to carry it. I just have too many fucking knives of my, like Divo stuff I have to carry. And the DLC on this is ridiculous. I tested it with a bit driver and it didn't do anything. But the handle is PVD, by the way. So it's not DLC. Shout out to Dylan for finding that out. But yeah, I have this sick ass Militaw. I don't know what these sold for. So what did these sell for? Let's find out. I'm sure somebody wants it, right? Kaiser. Militol. Militol. 230 on this bad boy. What? 230 on this bad boy. That's what it was. New. I might go a little over the 50% on this one. Maybe 150. 150. Email me, LeftyEDC88@gmail.com. Somebody's probably gonna want that. But she tried to fuck me over for about $500, but more importantly, almost ruined a good friendship. Yeah, we're still trying to figure out. She owes some dude 10 grand. Ooh, man, that's rough. Yeah, that's what I wonder, Grizzle Bear, is she's trying to sell knives and stuff in this Facebook group I run. And to be fair, I never go in there. I'm not a Facebook person. So, but in the chat, she will come in and she'll say she has all these knives on her website and she'll give like discount codes or something. And I remember seeing stuff in EDC go, no go. And I'm like, should I kick her out of this group? Because I don't want anybody in the group to buy one of those knives and then get fucked. So I wanted to know the information though, because I'm not one of those people that just reacts. Like I need to know that this is true and whatever. So, oh, sorry. So I had the, oh, wait. Brian says, I got a Lush and it won't stay centered. Is the pivot loosening, Brian? When you say it won't stay centered, that tells me that it does center and then it comes off center. So the pivot is tightening and then it loosens. Have you tried Loctite? And if you have you tried like what kind? Are you using that stupid Nick Shabazz stick thing that doesn't work? Or there's certain kinds that don't work well. And then there's kinds that are really good, like Vibrotite 122 that's oil tolerant. Because usually there's a little oil in there as well. And if you have oil in there, the other kinds just won't cure. And you also have to let it sit for like 2 full days without touching it, which is difficult. I know. That's why I use super glue. So anyway, you could try the different Loctite. You could try cleaning it out with alcohol first. Take the pivot screw out and then clean the threads on the screw and inside the barrel with rubbing alcohol to make sure all that oil is out, blow it out, whatever. And then add just a tiny bit of Loctite to the threads and then tighten it in and then let it sit for 2 days. You could try those options. You can hit me up at info@divoknives.com and you can just send it to me and I'll take care of it for you. I'll center it, I'll Loctite it, and I'll send it back to you perfect. So you don't have to mess around with it. It'll be cured and ready to go. So those are options. Obviously, you could hit up TPK and ask for a refund. They would be happy to do that, I'm sure. So you have options. Just hit us up. We can walk you through whatever. So I don't know what your level of comfortability is with messing with the knife. So if it's easier for you to just send it to me, I will take care of it. I can send you a label and everything, and then you can just send it and I'll ship it right back to you. So yeah, just hit me up at info@divoknives.com if you haven't already. And sorry about that, Brian. And thanks for picking one up. I've done some business with Alice. She made a knife available for me that I couldn't afford. She let me make a couple payments so that I could afford it. I consider her a friend and hope it's just a misunderstanding. Yeah, Paul, that's how I felt last time this happened with Ed. But it's like one of those fool me once, whatever. I forget the saying. Fool me once, whatever. Fool me twice, and I'm an idiot, right? So I feel like at this point there's something off here. Yeah, because one time there being an issue where she couldn't pay somebody X amount, and then there was all this story about the bank not all this bullshit. It seemed like, but wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, and we thought it got sorted out with Ed, but he was really on top of her. Like he was not letting it go, and maybe that's why it worked out for Ed because he just would not let it go. He was hammering her. He was talking shit in the live chats until he got his money, right? Not everybody's like that. A lot of people will let you make excuses for a long time or just be like, do I want to say anything? Some people just let it go completely. There's a lot of different personalities with that stuff. And unfortunately, this is now the second time we're hearing about very similar things. So it's, I'm with you, Paul, though. I've always liked her too, and it's tough. Stout V2 takes the sheep's foot place in my heart. Hell yeah, dude. Doom's knife is crazy. Yeah. What's 550? That the Kunwu? The MC knife is 550? No way. Is there Zircotai all over it? Isn't it just their, whatever Timascus that looks not like Timascus? Wax your carbon. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That shit works. I don't have many friends, that is, but I have a million knives. Rocky's a good dude. Oh, Blade Runner Outpost. Yes. Love White Mountain. Fuck Blade HQ. Yep. I love Chinese knives, not paying USA made prices for China knives. But what does that have to do with? Didn't you say you wouldn't buy a Rosecraft? Or what? You said you wouldn't buy Jack Wolf, or I swear you said Rosecraft. Which those are cheap as fuck, I think. What? Can you repeat yourself, Leafy? I'm sorry. But the thing with Jack Wolf, and I've explained this a bunch of times, there's so much that goes into it. They sell through dealers. They give you that extra bit of packaging. The knives are incredible. They're the best slip joints that I've handled. The nip slip might be an exception. It's fucking ridiculous, but theirs are better than the nip slip because they have the kick. They don't use a stop pin. It's just those little details. And they're hand assembled. They're all matched up by hand, all the parts. They're not parts bin knives where you can just grab a pivot and a whatever and put it together. It has to all be for the one knife. There's a lot that goes into it. So I have never seen the $299 price point as unacceptable for Jack Wolf. I get the thought process on that, but I don't know. A lot of good companies, but personally, I'd buy from TPK before anyone else. I love TPK, man. Austin is an absolute pimp daddy. I love Austin. So, yeah, RJ is cool too. It's just that Blade Runner is the stuff they carry is not really my style. They carry some stuff I like, but their stuff's just, different style than what I'm into. So it's the only reason I don't frequent there more or work with them much. But RJ is a great dude. Ben and Zach made Blade HQ. Now they're both gone, and so I stopped buying before they did a points program. So a long ass time ago. Yeah, I think Ben did a great job with Blade HQ, and and then he got offered more money to do something else, and he left. and they have suffered ever since, pretty much. You know, Zach did a good job for a little while, basically using what he learned from Ben, I think. So I charge tax for my ball tugging services. It's a nice knife, no complaints. Motherfucker is a tank, but I like Chavez, so do, 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 do. Yeah, I mean, now they've gone after a company for not a design. They've gone after a company because they make knives that have the donut kind of thing going on. And they say they own the Desert Warrior thing, right? And it's like, yeah, okay, you can paint blades blue and handles pink and put sprinkles on it. Cool. These guys are making better knives than that, you know, and they're not the same at all. They don't look the same. They're not in the same price range. They're just doesn't they're not taking sales away from Blade HQ, right? And then the other thing is they went after Blade Runner HQ and basically made them change their name to Blade Runner Outpost or whatever. They're just they're fuck them. I don't know what else to say. They're acting shitty. That's how I would put it. They're fucking, you know, they're swinging a big dick around right now. But that's fine. That's fine. You swing your dick around. But if nobody's going to, you know, touch it, well, what's that big dick worth now? Fuck. Love the Gen X Primark rad knife. Thanks for Reco. Oh, sick, dude. I'm glad you got one. That's awesome. I want one of the micarta Militars. Yeah, when I get that one back from the pass around, you can buy it off me for cheap, dude. I thought like 209. 209 for what? I don't know what you're talking about. Somebody emailed me about the Militar already. So if there's multiple emails, I'll go with the first one I got, okay? Just so you guys know and nobody feels bad. And I hate when I have to respond and be like, sorry, someone else got it, but that's what happens sometimes. So we'll see who got it. It's the Shadow Rangers Facebook group. That's Shadow Rangers. Long story. Goes back a long way, but it's funny. Well, I hope you emailed me, Level On Up, because that's what I'm going to go on, not on whoever said it here first. Yeah, there you go. I had to Loctite my Lush, and the action is perfect now. Yeah, I've had a couple of people say that came loose. I had a couple of people say, like, I think it was Brian earlier, that they couldn't get it to stay centered, which is weird because I've had 5 for like samples for marketing and whatnot. 2 of them I sent to pass around and then whatever, but none of those came off center at all. So it's kind of weird that they didn't Loctite some of them. Like they just forgot, I guess. I don't know, it's strange. But yeah, that is annoying when you have to Loctite a knife 8 times because it doesn't want to work. That's how I learned that you need the oil tolerant kind. I learned to clean out the pivot, and then eventually I learned to just use super glue because then I can flick the knife 2 minutes later. That's why I'm loving Divo knives. It's nice to know you give a shit. Hell yeah, dude. Of course I do. Thank you. Been carrying my nip light with skiff beatings. Damn. Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. George Bush Jr. moment. Man, I don't know. I don't you lost me on that one, but George H.W. Yes. If you use red Loctite, it's very possible you're going to strip the fuck out of that if you ever try to loosen it again. Now, you can get around that by using a very, very small amount, or maybe enough heat will, zap it, liquefy it when you're ready. But you might as well use super glue, dude. I use super glue, and I'm telling you, it's the smartest thing I ever did because I can use my knife right away, and it's still easy to break. As long as you don't put a ton, if you put a lot of super glue in there, yeah, it's probably going to fuck your shit up. But if you just put a little dab on the threads, the only downside is you have to be accurate. You have to tighten that screw down and get it where you want it right away. The benefit with Loctite is you can fuck with it a little bit, tweak it to where you want it, and then let it sit. That's the benefit. But then you have to wait 2 fucking days. With super glue, I can just, and then I can pretty much flick that bitch 2 minutes later. I mean, I'll usually wait 20 just to be safe, but it's way easier. And what I do is I set it to where I like it, and then I back it out, clean everything, set it to where I like it, back it out, set it to where I like it, and I'll get that like tightness down, how far I tightened, all that shit. And then I'll put the glue on and try to just hit the same tightness or whatever, right? Match it and check centering, make sure everything's good, and then just I'm done. Fucking amazing. But yeah, you don't want to use red, really. She won't give people's knives or money until you put her on blast. Really? Interesting. Yeah. You can't really clean it and everything like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rosecraft is using Rough Rider. But what does that have to do with you not wanting to, like, what don't you like about that? You just, because they're $60? You think that's way too much, I guess? Thanks, Kev. I saw your PayPal earlier. Yeah, I'll ship it out tomorrow. He got the Volt. Thank you, dude. In the future, though, I would wait until I say, okay, sure, and then you could send the money just in case somebody else somehow beat you to it. But I don't think anybody did. But this is the same thing with the Jack Wolf conversation. Like, Rosecraft is having Rough Rider make it, and then they're then they're shipping it wherever. They're using X materials that are not the same as what you see on actual Rough Riders. They're using some with better materials. The packaging, I guess, isn't very expensive, but like then they're going through dealers, and so the price just ticks up a little bit. Rough Rider, I believe, is that a Smoky Mountain thing? Those are direct, right? The Rough Rider makes them. They get sold at Smoky Mountain Knives, but Smoky Mountain Knives owns Rough Rider, so the price point is very low because of all that. But Rosecraft has to pay them to make it. Then they have to sell them through other dealers. Those dealers have to get 30% of something. Then Rosecraft has to make some money. So that's how your price gets to $60. And I don't think that's a shitty price. I mean, look, I have a couple here. These came in recently. This is that Zambezi or whatever. This one actually looks like somebody's wearing, like it's wearing jeans. It's fucking weird. It looks so good. But I mean, $60, that bothers you for this? I mean, the thing about it with Rough Rider, I mean, I don't know if that's confirmed, but I agree. There's no gapping. The fit and finish is incredible on these. I just wish they used better steel. I hate the D2. I want 14C or something on these fucking things. 12C, whatever. 9CR. I don't give a fuck. Just stainless. But my guess is if they switched, it would be $80 because this D2 is, sheet metal from the roof next door. You know what I mean? They're pulling pipes out of the fucking ground and turning them into blades. That's what D2 is. So if you get a real steel, it's going to be more expensive, but I don't know. $60 does not bother me at all on these. That seems perfectly fine. And then you look at Jack Wolf, and the quality is just, it's, again, I mean, there's no gaps. Everything's perfectly flush. You get spring is flush in all three positions. You get a full height hollow ground blade, beautiful belt satin finish. I mean, these belt satins are as good, if not better, than Riot's, and Riot does the best. Well, these guys do. It's not Riot, by the way. You have an actual kick, not a stop pin. That's engineering. That takes some skill. And then they're all hand assembled and fit and everything. So, and then you get that beautiful packaging, the tin, all that shit, the slip. And again, it goes through dealers. So the OEM gets their money, the dealer gets their 30%, and Jack Wolf gets what they get, which is probably like 20% or less. They're not rolling in cash, trust me, from these. So I will always defend Jack Wolf and their pricing because I know what's going into it, and I wholeheartedly believe that they're offering them at a price that is reasonable considering what they're being charged and everything, and understanding the fact that they are a business and they have to stay afloat. They have to pay multiple employees and pay for an office and whatnot, right? And I don't think the price is exorbitant at all. And they make the best slip joints you can get, honestly. So, yeah, that sums it up. But I get it. You don't want to pay that for a Chinese-made slip joint. I mean, for instance, I'll give you a for instance. These Urban EDC Barleys, these are our design, but it's an Urban EDC knife. So they control pricing and everything. Beautiful slip joints. Really good walk and talk. These are OEM by Riot. Stupid thin, 0.32 thinness. Let me pull up their website. So they have them on the main page here. Can I click on it? Nope. Oh, nope. Can I search their new website? Barley. Did that? There it is. Nope. What the hell? So here you go. From $299. So these will be starting at $299 at Urban EDC. How well will they sell at Urban EDC for $299? I don't know. I can tell you when we first started this project, we drew up this model. We were having an OEM do prototypes, and then they got involved and they wanted it, and then they switched to their OEM, and we were planning to launch this for $199 when we were controlling the project. Now the pricing may have changed moving to their OEM and whatnot, but these are now starting at $299, right? Now they have to pay us the royalty or whatever, which is like, I think it's 5% or something. It's not much. So that's the barley. This is the nip slip. This is our design and our knife, Divo nip slip. This is in partnership with traditionalpocketknives.com. QSP OEM this. The fit and finish and the quality is as good, possibly better than the barley. I'd say they're equal. They're just different. This has really nicely done inlays. That one's, full tie. That one's thinner. That one's just stupid thin. This one's still thin. Gorgeous chamfering. This has a full height hollow ground blade. Goes all the way up to the spine here. Beautifully done by QSP. Walk and talk is stupid. This is a prototype, the first prototype. We got one batch, but anyway. These will be $199. They have an inlay, right? So it all depends on who's selling them, who's making them, what profit margin are people looking to get, and what do people think they can sell stuff for versus what they think they should sell them for. I don't know. There's a lot of factors there, Leafy. As we've discussed this whole video, or live, at Divo, we have a different philosophy than most. We try to be as affordable as we really can. And part of that is because, again, we're not relying on this as income. But Traditional Pocket Knives this is their full-time thing. It's Austin's full-time thing. And he's sold all his slip joints for $199, I think. So, and then there's the whole aspect of just looking at it. Some companies would rather sell at $199 and hope to sell the run out and, get their recoup their funds plus their profit or whatever and move on to the next project. Some companies would rather have the price be, say, $299 and just sell as many as they sell. Maybe they have some that are left in stock for a while because, maybe people, not everybody wants to pay $299, but they probably end up with the same amount of money coming back and then more eventually when it all sells out. So there's different ways to kind of look at it. Maybe this side, well, we would like to have inventory for a while. Using the price to control that helps, I guess. This side, we want to burn through inventory quick so we can get funds in so we can start something else. Like, there's all different ways to look at it, but I just, I can kind of see the reasoning between either or. And with Jack Wolf, I 100% think the price is reasonable. So I'm just going to shut up because I've never convinced anybody on that side to not think the price is too much. That's just, some people are just stuck there. And that's fair. That's totally up to you. The sticker? That's great. Sorry, James. The one I have, I need for, marketing and such until the drop's over. And then I'll decide if I want to keep it. I mean, I really like it though. But you could always hit up Austin at Traditional Pocket Knives. Talk to him. I am not fooled. See, this is what I'm talking about. I am not fooled. Like somebody's trying to fool them, but nobody's trying to fool you, dude. That's just what it is. It's just what it costs. So if you don't want to pay it, that's fine. But trying to, I guess you didn't try to say they were doing anything. So whatever. But technically, we have a slip joint dropping on the 4th for $299. It's not a Divo technically, and yes, I'll be honest, if we controlled the pricing, it would probably be $199. But that doesn't change the fact that our name is sort of on it, and it's going to be $299. And I can see how they got there, you know. And then if you look at it, Leafy, Urban's selling this knife for $299. With Jack Wolf, you have to add in a whole nother entity, right? Like Urban's a dealer, and they're the company who's buying the knife from Riyadh, who's making it, or their OEM that they don't disclose, Riyadh. So with Jack Wolf, you have to add in a whole nother entity, right? Either the brand or the dealer, one or the other, right? So that's 30% of whatever, right? That's the minimum that a dealer takes is 30%, usually, right? Sometimes they'll take less, whatever. But point is, they like 30%. When we work with dealers, we try to figure the price so that they get 30%. And usually we get a lower, we get like 20%. But then we try to have some that we sell directly, and we'll make more on that because the price is the same as the dealers because we can't undercut the dealers, right? So it kind of evens out, and we end up at that 30% in the end, 35, whatever, something like that. So I don't know, like if you look at it like that, you can't see how Jack Wolf gets the $299, you know, and then you're adding the fact that they have that packaging and that slip. And I mean, with the Urban one, you're going to get a little magnetic box, which is nice, but you don't get a pouch. You don't get like, he uses professional artists to make these designs, to do the boxes and the stickers and the pog, and then you get the slip, and then you get, you know, maybe you don't want that shit, that's fine, but that's part of the price, you know. But whatever, you know. I know there's people who just think I'm, you know, I just am shilling for Jack Wolf, which I love them. Ben's a great dude, he's a friend, but I can just see it because I know the industry. Like I know it from this side. I know what their pricing. I don't know their pricing, but I can guess. And it's fair. Doesn't mean you want to spend it. Doesn't mean it's cheap. I just think it's fair. If that makes sense. I want that ABW. Yeah. Yeah, I have one here. I really like it. I got it at Blade Show. Yeah, I'm waiting for the new batch as well. Then I'm going to put that video up. Well, I don't have a video yet, but I'll make it. Barley start at 410 Canadian. All right. Well, you're in Canada. I'm not going to do the whatever, but the price is $299 US dollars. Purple nip slip looks so good. Yeah, dude, I'm excited about the nip slips. Those are, I just love the size and the feel of that one. There's just something about it. I love the barley too. I was way more excited about the nip slip. Then I got these samples in from Urban, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember why I drew this. Like this was one I drew. I think Colin actually added the choil, or he had the idea. I can't remember, but I think he gets credit for the choil. But I drew the, you know, outline. And I got the idea from the Tactile Knives Bear, the slip joint they have, that stupid thin one. That was the thought. I was like, why do they keep doing this fucking clip point? Like, I want a fucking sheep's foot, thin sheep's foot. That's where the idea came from. And then we drew the lush off of this. Will you ever do a budget barley? Well, the barley's not ours, Ed. The barley is, this is Urban EDC's knife. We designed it and licensed it to them. So it's just like Kaiser making the whatever knife for somebody. You know what I mean? Like I can ask about it, but I don't know price wise. I don't know if going less premium actually makes sense. I guess you could if you did like G10 scales or something, then maybe you could get it down to $100 with some low grade steel, but I don't know if it helps. Yeah, that makes sense. But you also, Leafy, you didn't say this, but if I tell you QSP made the nip slip for us, and your response is, well, I can get a QSP knife cheap, like a lot, cheaper. Well, of course you can, because they're making it and then they're selling it directly. They're cutting out the part where we pay them to make it. When we pay them to make it, they charge us basically what you're paying for their knife. We're paying that to have them made. Then we have to make money, right? And then if there's a dealer involved, you got to add even more. And it just keeps, it adds up. So, the people who, when we release stuff like the Growler, they're like, well, I can get a Kaiser in 154 and aluminum for $70. It's like, yeah, of course you can, because they're making it and then they're selling it. Of course you can get that for $70. Now you know what we paid. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a couple reasons. I think one, he knows that they're really good knives. He knows that everybody that knew would want to use this company. So it would fuck up his whole monthly schedule and everything if all of a sudden Divo and Arcane Design and everybody goes in there asking to make stuff, right? That's one reason. And the second reason is I think it gives people an identity for the knives, whether good or bad. When you look at a Jack Wolf, you think Jack Wolf, right? When I tell you Riot made this, when you look at this, you think Riot. When I tell you QSP made the nip slip, you're thinking QSP. It puts thoughts in your head about quality and stuff like that. It takes away brand identity, right? Like, I've had plenty of people tell me, like, let's say they're talking about the Growler, right? And they're like, this is the best Kubi knife I've ever had. And they don't mean anything by that. They're not trying to be a dick and basically make it sound like we had nothing to do with this. It's not like we designed it or we sold it or we QC checked it or we did X, Y, and Z to make this happen. But that's what happens when people know the OEM. They remove the brand and they place the OEM in there. Does that make sense? And Ben is looking for brand identity. He wants Jack Wolf Knives to be the brand. He doesn't want people to associate it with another thing with the OEM, because then it removes some of the brand identity. So those are the two reasons. Yeah. I think the way you can know his price is fair is you look at his locking knives. You look at the quality and construction of the locking knives and you compare it to other stuff, right? People who use Riot, people who use Best Tech, like the Stout, we sell that for $375 in Banex. He sells his locking knives for $350 in S90V. And again, you have the OEM, you have the dealer, you add all that in. I think that's a fair price. Whether you want to pay it or not is a different thing. But that $350 is fair. So if that's fair, why would he be ridiculous with the slip joints? He's not. It's just what they cost. He's just getting charged a lot of money to make a slip joint that good. He has a high standard. Hell no, Leafy. Oh, I'm not. Okay. I'm not calling you out. I'm just having a conversation. I apologize if I was coming at you. That's not how I meant it. I was just having a conversation about the pricing because I think it's just a thing that comes up constantly about them, you know? But that wasn't meant to be personal, Leafy. I apologize if it came off that way. I get passionate, you know? I didn't even see anything about, he's okay. So I know he was talking about Rosecraft. He was talking about, all right, whatever. We're moving on. I don't think I referenced Urban when it came to the fooling part. Kubius released Taste when I released the Clydesdale, and people always compared the two prices. Yeah, it's stupid. Like it doesn't make sense. And again, I'm not saying Leafy's doing that. I'm offshooting the conversation. Because these are common conversations that come up, is what I'm saying. And your pricing was like redonkulous, dude. If I remember correctly, it was like $120 or something for the Clydesdale. At least I wasn't 45 minutes behind. Do you imagine Leafy's like, please stop for 45 minutes? I'm sorry, dude. If it sounded like I was like coming at you personally, that's not what I meant. Oh man. If you can't tell, my voice is gone now. So I should probably it's 125. I got Banex for 115 on sale at Smoky Mountain Knife. What was the knife, I guess? I mean, I don't know if that matters. You can get any knife for cheap if it's been around long enough. They need to move it or somebody wants to be crazy. Hi everyone. I'm in bed listening, so I can't say hi to all. The barley is $2.99 and worth every penny. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I would love for it to be cheaper, but I don't control that. And you know what? I don't know Urban's, like, I don't know their overhead or any of that shit. So, you know what I mean? MKM Vincent. It was real. I'm sure it was real. It was Italian, though, so it was soft. No, I'm just kidding. Banex is actually good at like a lower HRC, I think. Yeah, 100%. They like high margins, which is fine. That's their prerogative, you know. It's up to people if they want to pay it or not, you know. That's all. And that's all Leafy was saying is he doesn't want to pay it for Jack Wolf and Rosecraft. He really didn't say anything. He didn't say anything crazy. He just started the conversation, and then I took it from there. But all right, let's wrap this up. Maybe we should do a giveaway, right? I was trying to tell you guys what I would sell, and then I got distracted. So we can cover that next time if there's more stuff. I don't know. Anyway, what do you guys want? What do you guys want? How about, I don't know, he either left or he just stopped commenting because he wanted me to shut up about it. I don't know. I wasn't trying to come at him, but it is what it is. How about this right here? The Bulldog. This is the Bulldog. This is actually in M3. Yeah, nip slip. I only have one of those right now, and it's the prototype. And you would have to literally dig that out of my grave right now. That's probably my favorite knife that I have here. Tatcom Bulldog M390, and it's a tall blade. This is actually you know what? I'm gonna make a statement here. This is the best OTF for actual cutting that I've ever had. This is the best OTF that I've actually had for cutting because it's got a tall blade, relatively thin stock for an OTF, and it has a tall grind. If you look at, like, this is another one that's really good. It's a sheep's foot. This is the axial shift 3.0. But look at the blade grind. Look how much taller the grind is on the Bulldog, and I bet you the stock is about the same. So this thing cuts like a regular pocket knife, which is unusual. Usually OTFs are thick as fudge, you know? And it's got good action. These are made by Best Tech. Ah! Ow, that fucking hurt. Why'd that hurt? It's like the switch hit me. But yeah, it's cool. Reversible clip. I like it. So we'll give that away. It's probably like, I don't know what they charge for these, $150 or $200. So if you win, you don't like it, you can always sell it. You know what I mean? You can always sell it. Is this the? Oh, he's here. Leafy's still here. I mean, I was having a more general conversation. It wasn't really like just directed at you. It definitely was in a sense, but not in the way I think you took it. So, but then everybody was worried about you, Leafy. That was hilarious. Who was it who said, I think Leafy made like a tree? Just, have you guys ever seen Boondock Saints? With the guy with Tourette's, and he's like, what the fuck? I forget his name. He's like, why don't you make like a tree and get the fuck out of here. I fucking love that movie. That movie was such a classic. I read that as gluten for punishment. Gluten for punishment. He is a glutton for punishment, yeah. As soon as we stop talking about it, he brings it back up. Good times. Good times. Good movie. Yeah. Have you guys noticed there hasn't been a good movie ever in the last like forever? It's pretty insane how terrible it is lately. StreamYard giveaway tool. Do 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 do. I hope he wins, but we're going with hashtag the Leafy Show. I kind of hope he wins, though. Well, no, I don't, because then I got to ship to fucking Canada. God damn it. Oh, was it? Was it good? Okay. Well, Deadpool 1 was like 10 years ago, I think, at this point. Deadpool and Wolverine. Okay. That's one to check out. Somebody told me to check out Twisters, and I immediately was like, yeah, there's been so many shitty movies that you are now recommending Twisters. Oppenheimer was good. Oppenheimer was boring as fuck, but it was pretty good. Barbie was okay. Decent premise, but I mean, it wasn't like a great movie. I liked it. TV shows are definitely where it's at these days. That's for sure. If anybody's into true crime stuff, go on Netflix. If you haven't seen the documentary American Nightmare, it's fucking good. I turned it on, in the first 10 minutes, I was kind of like, this seems dumb as fuck, but no, it's fucking excellent. And then they have a new Lacey Peterson documentary, which I knew the story, but I'd never seen like footage or any of that stuff. So that was pretty interesting. Yeah. But yeah, TV shows like Game of Thrones, shit like that has been probably the more interesting stuff the past few years. There was one on Apple, I think I watched this year. Was it called Dark Matter, I think? About this guy it's a crazy fucking story about alternate worlds and shit, but they did a good job with it. I usually watch like one show every couple months. That's kind of my time frame. Other than that, I'll watch some Phillies games, or I'm working all the time, or with my kid watching Disney or some bullshit. Alien Romulus? Nah, fuck that. I kind of have a boycott on sequels at this point, or not sequels. Sorry, Deadpool's cool. Reboots like Alien, that's a fucking reboot. It's been 30 fucking years since they made a good one. Well, I guess Prometheus, but that wasn't very good either. So I don't know. Minions, Twisters on IMAX. Abigail, haven't seen it. Dune was dope. Dune 2 was dope. I'll give you that. Dune 1, not as good. Dune 2 was good. Did you guys see the Rebel Moon thing on Netflix? Are they ever coming out with the third one? It's more action than like good. But I enjoyed it. Watch both of those, both good. Yeah. And Fallout. Fallout was great too. The show on Prime after the video game, which usually video game movies or shows suck ass, but Fallout is excellent, and Last of Us was fantastic too. Love true crime every damn day. Live true. I stick your baseball and comedy. I stick to baseball and comedy. Okay, so you're a cop, I guess, would be the. Yeah, I really like The Perfect Wife on Hulu. They need to remaster the Terminator movie series. I mean, maybe 1 and 2, but you mean remake? They've been remastered, I think, to the point where Arnold's face looked so fake in the first one. American Vandal was good. Deadpool and Wolverine is Disney? Yeah, I guess it would be. Marvel, right? Interesting. So is there cursing and shit? Because that was kind of what was funny about Deadpool. I can't get into Equalizer. I'm not that like John Wick is okay, but I can't get into all that. Phillies made me some Divo money today, full circle. Hell yeah, dude. That was looked like a great game, man. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but they came back and won that one. So fuck yeah. How about Castellanos, dude? First, 3 months of the season? Like, he was on the brink of being under the Mendoza line. Like, he was close to 200. I think he was under 200 for a while. And nobody wanted that guy around. And he's probably been their best hitter or most consistent hitter for the past 3 months. Pretty incredible, his turnaround. Like, and he has not missed a game either. I like that guy. Deadpool don't give a fuck if it's Disney. Terminator reboot would be cool. Nah, fuck reboots, man. They need to come up with new shit. That's like, what happened to coming up with new shit? Rebel Moon was good. But yeah, but they didn't come out with the third one yet, right? Yeah, I actually would watch a Highlander reboot. That would be good. What was his name? Fuck, what was his name? Duncan MacLeod. Duncan MacLeod. Was that it? I think that was it. Oh, new Mad Max? Nah, fuck that. Nope, I'm out. But yeah, Fallout was great. Doom with The Rock. How old is that, dude? That's like 20 years old now. It ain't for kids. All right, cool. Good to know. I'll watch it with my kid tomorrow. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of YouTube during work. I watch a lot of I've been researching, I guess is what I would call it. I go down rabbit holes. That's my thing. I go down rabbit holes and then I go hard. And I've been into politics a lot lately, which sucks because, there's just a lot of repeating themselves. And anyway, I don't want to talk about it here because, I don't want to piss off half of you. But politics, and then I guess sort of the same thing, but like looking into the Ukraine war and the war in the Middle East, stuff going on in the Middle East. Shit's crazy, man. Shit is absolutely crazy. And interesting as hell, too. And then I was kind of, researching the backgrounds on all of it, like how it all started and, I don't know. John Wick 6, dude. Jesus Christ. Transformers, Jesus. Seriously. I was bored one day. I think it was a weekend. I was sick or something. I was just laying there. My kid was like chilling on the iPad or something. And I don't know. And I watched Transform. It was like must have been the newest one, but it was like they had these ancient Transformers from another realm or some shit that looked like big animals. And I saw King Kong and Godzilla. There's like a new King Kong Godzilla that came out like a month ago. That was actually good. If you like action, it's good. It's not like a good movie, you know what I mean? But good action. Yeah, that's what I saw, dude. I saw the TV show when I was in Germany and I was 18. I stayed there for like 3 months. And that was one of the shows that came on during the day while I was bored as fuck. And I watched fucking Highlander from like the 90s or something, even though it was like 2005. And it wasn't great. but I remember. That's how I know most of the Highlander stuff. I haven't really watched the movies too much. Probably should. Oh, they do have a new Highlander. What? Okay, I would watch that. I like Cavill. He's good in Witcher. Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead. Sorry. Let's run it and then get the hell out of here. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. I appreciate you. It's always a good time. Leafy. Casey Cisco. Hell yeah, dude. All right, Casey. I'm going to put my email in the chat here so you can hit me up. Shoot me an email with your address and I'll, what did I get? What did I give him? Oh, yeah. And I will send the bulldog out to you. There he is. Hell yeah, dude. Congrats, man. You don't live in Canada, do you? I'm just kidding. It wouldn't matter, but it's just funny when that happens. But yeah, shoot me an email. And if you emailed me about a knife, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. It might be tomorrow. I'm fucking tired. But I'll go in order of timestamps. So as long as everybody knows that that's the rule, we're good. And thank you guys. I appreciate you. Check out the barley dropping on the 4th at Urban EDC. And we'll talk about the tall boy more as that comes up, but we still got a couple weeks. So, all right. Love you guys. Hope you have a great night. Peace. Balloon.